work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600 or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Score big savings with Hy-Vee and the Kansas City Chiefs. Big points mean even bigger savings. Just shop Hy-Vee the day after a game and earn a fuel saver discount equal to the Chiefs score and based on the amount you spend. If the Chiefs score 42 points, you save 42 cents a gallon with any $42 purchase. The more we score, the more you save. Win or lose, everyone scores the day after a Chiefs game only at Hy-Vee. Offer good in store and online. Some restrictions apply. See store for details.
Imagine this. It's Thanksgiving Day, and instead of juggling pots and pans, you're actually enjoying it. Hy-Vee's got your holiday covered with convenient pre-made meal packs for any size gathering. Fresh, ready-to-heat favorites like juicy turkey, honey glazed ham, or prime rib, plus all the classic sides, rolls, and desserts. And don't forget to swing by the wine and spirits department to make it a feast to remember. Pick up your meal the day before, heat it up, and serve it like you cooked all day. This Thanksgiving, let Hy-Vee do the cooking. You get the credit. Only at Hy-Vee.
BetMGM is coming soon to Missouri. On November 17th, sports fans in Missouri can pre-register and get up to $1,500 paid back in bonus bets if their first bet loses. Plus, an additional $100 in bonus bets if they deposit before December 1st. Enjoy a betting app that was designed for game day with features like live bets, same-game parlays, BetMGM reward points, and surprise boosts dropping in your account all throughout the season. It's everything a sports fan could want in one app. Pre-registration is coming soon to Missouri on November 17th. BetMGM, make it legendary. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 and older only. Missouri only. New customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements and minimum deposit of $10. Bonus bets are non-withdrawable and expire in 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. Pending BetMGM's licensure as a mobile sports wagering operator with the Missouri Gambling Commission register for a Missouri online sports wagering account 1117. BetMGM's insurance of welcome offer is conditional on full license.
What's up? It's Draymond Green. I'm back for my 14th NBA season, and my podcast, The Draymond Green Show, is back too. This season, I'm breaking down games, reacting to the biggest NBA stories, and sitting down with teammates, rivals, and culture shapers. And trust me, I'm not holding back, on the court or on the mic. 2 new episodes every week, new segments, big conversations, real basketball talk for the real hoop heads. Listen to and follow The Draymond Green Show wherever you get your podcasts. We're back, we're better, let's get it.
He's electric on the field. Now, Xavier Worthy's giving back off the field. Join him December 15th at the Intercontinental KC for Uncork for a Cause. Wine, food, and football fun, benefiting the Worthy Ones Foundation. Get your tickets now at uncorkkc.com. Be sure to follow us on Instagram at TheFan965 for behind-the-scenes videos like MVP Monday, Chiefs Take Tuesday, and Best Bets. This is your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5 The Fan, KFNZ, FM and AM, HD1 and HD2, Kansas City, an Odyssey sports station.
Welcome to After Hours. Jay Binkley, James Howell. This dark Friday evening at 6 o'clock, 5:59, almost 6 o'clock. Good evening, James.
What's going on, buddy? How you doing tonight?
I know you got some coaching of youth football tomorrow. We got to be getting close to the Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah. This is the weekend. This is the one.
Oh, you get the Super Bowl this weekend?
Yes, sir. We got all of our games on Saturday. We start off ring ceremony for our divisional rings. Start off at 9 a.m. First game's at 10. Last game is at 6 p.m. We're there all day.
How many years in a row for you winning?
Okay, so we are back-to-back Super Bowl champs.
Right.
We are division winners,
Right.
6 years or 6 seasons in
We
a
got
row.
kind of a little dynasty rolling.
Oh, big time, big time. We look to just keep it rolling.
Well, keep it rolling. You're doing a fine job if you keep winning. Just keep it. You're undefeated too, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, perfect.
We haven't lost a regular season game in 5 regular seasons.
See, it's dynastic type stuff.
Yeah.
Being teams worry about you. You're in their head. Not like a team that won Arrowhead Drive. Broncos, they're in their head, right? Mahomes 13-1 against the Broncos. Didn't play in that last game of the season. Mahomes' first game ever against the Denver Broncos back in 2017. Remember he hadn't started all year and he goes out for the Broncos and beats them. Kareem Hunt gets that rushing record. At that point, they pull him out. Fun times with the Broncos, but it hasn't always been that way with the Denver Broncos. So you got a couple things to look forward to, James. You got I know you're looking forward to the Oklahoma-Alabama game tomorrow, as am I. I think it's going to be fun. We have some college football tonight to dive into. We'll certainly do that. And we have kind of a little big game with the Chiefs and Broncos this weekend. And, yeah, there's going to be a couple games we look at and say, all right, this is huge. Next week's Colts game is setting up to be big as well. I mean, it will be big, despite what happens in Denver. If they win, all right, get things rolling. Got to beat the Denver Broncos, or you got to beat the Indianapolis Colts. Then the Chiefs are on Thanksgiving. Everybody's eating their turkey. They're watching the Chiefs and Cowboys. And by the way, the ratings came out. 3 of the top 5 games are Kansas City Chiefs games, right? As I said, love them or hate them, which people say they hate them, they still watch them. 55 of 60 of the top-rated programs in America is NFL football games. That is called Dynastic Run by the National Football League. And 3 of the top 5 are Kansas City Chiefs. It's going to be 4 of the top 5 once the Kansas City Chiefs play the Dallas Cowboys on Thanksgiving. It's obvious. Thanksgiving ratings are always big. But then you add the Cowboys, which for some reason everybody still watches that crap. They still like watching the Dallas Cowboys. And, of course, they like watching the Kansas City Chiefs. So you have that. Then you have the little mini-bye. Then a little mini-bye until you set yourself up for December. When you set yourself up for the only 2 road games remaining after that Cowboys game. The Titans and the Raiders. Perfect for the Chiefs. Your home games. Houston, L.A., the Chargers, the Raiders. Or no, the Raiders on the road, excuse me. And the Denver Broncos at home. So it's right there in front of you. Chargers and Broncos, you get them at home. That's why this game sets up everything what's going to happen Sunday. It's totally, the way we look at it, the history of the Denver Broncos. I know you're a little bit younger than me, James, of course, but you probably grew up in the Manning era with the Denver Broncos. I grew up kind of in the Elway era as far as what he did to the Chiefs. And I couldn't stand the Broncos. I didn't like their fans. I didn't like the whole incomplete chance that they have. There's not much I ever liked about that team, but they're relevant. And I know here Andy Reid talking about, well, it's a good football team. It's well coached. We look forward to the challenge. Okay, that sounds great and all, but you'd rather be playing a crappy team, wouldn't you? I mean, it's fine playing the Broncos, I guess, for what it means for the division and everything else. Get your chance to knock them off. Like all this talking, you get a chance to shut people up. I mean, that's what it's all about. Just shutting people up. And a lot of people picking the Chiefs in this game. Vegas has them favored in this game. So it's not like they can play the woe poor me, underdog like they did against the Ravens where they were underdogs at home. They're the favorites in Denver. And, man, they are doing and saying the right things in Denver. I don't know if you've listened to them, but there's none of that bulletin board material because the Chiefs absolutely thrive on that.
Well, they got, not to take anything away from Pete Carroll, but, Sean Payton's a great coach, and he's going to have these guys whipped into shape, and he does. This is a good team. I know a lot of people are kind of like, oh, it's just the Broncos, and they're not as good as their record or whatever, but this is going to be a good team, and one of the biggest reasons is because they're disciplined. They're not going to give us that bulletin board material.
And we have a lot of talk on that game tonight. Also, high school football playoffs are going on the Kansas side and Missouri side as we keep getting Kansas, the state title games right there, that Thanksgiving weekend, Missouri a week later. But we're rolling through it. I know a lot of people are going to high school football right now, and I appreciate you listening to the show, driving out to high school football. Let me know your high school football score. Let me know what's going on. We definitely want to hear that. Talked about James and his youth football team tomorrow. Undefeated, going for yet another Super Bowl. There's some good things going on.
The future looks bright in Kansas City. I love it. I love youth football. I love high school football because that is the future, man.
Winning is in the air, man. Winning is in the air in Kansas City, and it's always a good thing to happen. But I'll say this.
100%.
And the one thing about this game, the one thing about this city, the Buffalo Bills had a parade last night, right? Yeah, congrats to the Bills. They had their parade. It was the Hallmark parade, right? They lined up, like 800 people lined up for the premiere movie of the Hallmark movie, right? Because it's them this year. Okay. It was the Chiefs last year, but the Bills are now. Okay. So they're celebrating a Kansas City company showing a movie about the Buffalo Bills for a Hallmark movie. Congratulations to Buffalo. You finally win something.
Yes.
And I'll say this. Did you watch the Patriots game last night?
I caught some pieces of it, but it just wasn't a very compelling game for me to watch.
No, it wasn't. But, a lot of people, what Vrabel's doing is awesome. What he's doing there. Drake May's obviously off to a heck of a year. And it's good.
There.
And so once that game happens, I'm sitting there going, do we really want the Patriots to win? Do we really want the Patriots to win? Or do you want the Bills? I just mentioned their little parade they had for the Hallmark movie, but I know everybody hates the Bills at this point. But wouldn't it behoove the Chiefs a little bit better to have the Bills go ahead and win that division?
I mean, you would think so. We were talking a little bit before the show, and in the wild card that
3 teams, it goes division
That's
record,
right.
2 teams head-to-head, right? 2 teams head-to-head. If you looked at the playoffs right now, the Chiefs are, of course, out of the playoffs right now. The top 3 wild cards, as we sit right now in the AFC, it's the Chiefs, the Texans, and the Ravens for the teams that are just out looking in. The teams that actually have the wild cards. The Chargers, the Bills, and the Jags sit above the Kansas City Chiefs. What do those teams have in common? They've all beaten the Kansas City Chiefs. How many have always looked at Jags and say they need to take that loss because they got that upper hand. They get the head-to-head victory against the Chiefs. Well, guess what? As far as the Patriots running away with this division because they got a couple-game lead now, so do the Bills. Like if the Bills end up in the wild card spot, that sometimes goes to look at Kansas City and go, ugh, Chiefs needed to win that game because now the Bills become a concern because of the head-to-head versus the Chiefs. The Chargers, even though the Chiefs get another crack at them at Arrowhead Stadium, which that Chargers game at Arrowhead is going to be huge. I mean, we look at this Denver Broncos and think of huge. That's huge in the moment. But when the Chargers get here, and we looked at the Broncos schedule, I'll go over it here in a little bit. It looks very favorable for them. I think they'd be favored in every single one of their games remaining. And not really daunting road trips either, except for the road trip to Kansas City. That's the one big one on the schedule stuff for the Broncos. Same with the Chargers, but they already have the win over the Chiefs. So they're going to come in here with a little more confidence. So, yeah, that Broncos game is huge. The Colts game is going to be huge. But the Cowboys kind of in the way there on Thanksgiving. But when the Chargers come to Arrowhead, it's going to be huge as well. But the fact does remain, the Chargers, the Bills, and the Jags are the 3 wild card teams for the AFC. And guess what? They all have wins over the Kansas City Chiefs. So it's not just the Jags, where you look every week and say, let's hope the Jags lose. Well, unless you want the Bills to start losing games, which certainly they could. Certainly they could. I mean, you saw what happened in Miami. It certainly could happen to the Buffalo Bills. But as far as the Patriots, they win the division, all of a sudden those Buffalo Bills are now the wild card, and that stands in the way of the Kansas City Chiefs because they do have the head-to-head over the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't think a lot of people kind of put that into the equation. I know you did when you looked at these standings before that, oh, crap, all of a sudden that. I think everything's going to work out, though. I think everything's going to work out. Jacksonville, they've lost Travis Hunter for the year, certainly. He got down to about a 50-50 split, whether defense they used him or offense. But the fact remains, the Bills still stand out there as a pain in the butt. Even though they had their nice little parade yesterday. So congrats to them. And as I like to remind the Buffalo people, not only a Hallmark movie, Kansas City company, for their little parade yesterday, but that new stadium was designed by a Kansas City company, Populous, as well. So their new stadium was designed by Kansas City as well. So it's Kansas City everywhere.
big time dubs everywhere.
And as far as bulletin board material, I guess you could use it, kind of running up the score against the Chiefs backups. Certainly that could be looked upon on the text lines, talking about that. Sean Payton at the end of the year, certainly that. But here was Nick Benito. He had 9.5 sacks. He talking about the Chiefs game this week, and it was exactly what you want your players to say.
Yeah, and I said it the other day on Thursday night. This division has been run by the Chiefs for so many years now. So, if we're going to want to be that team to win the division and, reach the goals that we said we want, we're going to have to go through them and beat them. So, we're excited for the opportunity.
That's right, Nick. He's got it. That's not bulletin board material. That's respect for the Chiefs. They've won it 9 years in a row, Nick. Mahomes is 13-1 against you. Andy Reid, as we know, is 22-4 after a bye. 13-1 when he was an Eagles coach after the bye. 9-3 after the bye with the Chiefs. Mahomes has only lost one game after bye. That was 2023 when they lost to the Eagles. Things are looking good. I will say this, though. There is a stat out there. Andy Reid is 3-4 after a bye week if both teams had a bye. Which the Broncos really, it was kind of a mini bye because they played that Thursday night game, so they kind of had that mini bye going forward. So I don't know where you want to really quantify because I can't find that stat on the mini bye. And I bet the full buys, both teams having a full buy, 3-4 record does Andy Reid have.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising. We all know the story about how successful Andy Reid is, and it's not going to get easier. Like I said before, this Broncos team is really good, and I think it's a lot better than what a lot of people here in Kansas City, including some of our colleagues, want to give them credit for.
It's one of those games, and I'm going to dive into it a little bit more when we get to the next segment, dive in more to some of the numbers that the Broncos have and what they boast, how good they are in certain areas. Like we know about their defense. It's doing historic things, to be honest with you, that pass rush. That offensive line is elite. You've heard people talking about how good that offensive line is. Many metrics have it in the number one offensive line in professional football. They've got two guys that are former All-Pro in that offensive line. Bowles was an All-Pro guy, but it was second team, but it was way back in 2020. But Garrett Bowles is still a damn good player. And Miners was a first-team All-Pro last year, but that was a guard. So they do boast two All-Pros on that offensive line. It's playing very well. But how well is the rest of the Broncos playing? We'll get to that as well. Our phone number, 913-586-7965. The J Southland Tow Service text line, 913-586-7965 as well. Let's go to Big Al before I take a break. What's up, Big Al?
Hey, guys. Thanks for taking my call. Appreciate it before the break. Good stuff. TGIF, right? Anyway.
Yeah, thank God it's Friday. Why not?
Yeah, I know, right? No kidding. Hey, I wanted to get y'all's opinion. I know this is going to be a tough game this weekend, next couple weeks for sure. But against Denver, I get this feeling. I don't know. I wanted your all's opinion on it. But I mean, we dug ourselves to our own hole. The Chiefs did, with the record we have with 4 losses already, right? And I wanted to get y'all's opinions. I mean, especially if we lose this week, right? Which obviously we don't want that to happen. But have you guys done the math and everything to see if we even have a chance at making a wild card with everybody in the running? That making the wild card,
Big Al. Making the wild card is certainly tangible. Winning the division, you lose this game, probably not in the card.
9%.
Yeah. So it is a percentage. It is a chance. And we've seen the Royals win games with 1% chance. We've seen the Chiefs win games with 1% chance. Heck, that 13-second game was like a 1% chance to come back. So they've done it. But I will say this. You look at the Broncos' schedule going forward, it's very, very favorable for the Denver Broncos. Very favorable for the Broncos.
You're right. This could be the one year that the Chiefs finally – I don't want to jinx them, but maybe lose the division. But I think the Chiefs can still make the playoffs. They got a man. I know you guys see it, on whether you're watching on TV or in person at the stadium. But they got to turn their ship around, motivational wise too. They got to get that.
Just have some energy.
Mojo
Just
back.
have some
That's
energy.
all I'm saying.
And it's frustrating though, Big Al, because I would certainly take this team to beat last year's team. I think it's just a better all-around team. And statistically, it would prove that. But they do have the 4 losses. So it is out there. Now, as far as the Broncos, so after the Chiefs, they have a bye week. And coming in tonight, they need it because J.K. Dobbins, their leading rusher, 5th leading rusher in the NFL, out for this game with a foot. Could be a longer injury. They're kind of wait and see on what's going on. But they do have 5 guys out. The Broncos have 5 guys out. Obviously, J.K. Dobbins and Patrick Surtain. Those are the big 2. And Patrick Surtain, probably the biggest because he was Defensive Player of the Year last year. So the Broncos have the Chiefs, right? Then they have a bye week. Then they're at Washington. Then they're at Vegas.
They got a light schedule, that's for sure.
Yeah, then they're Green Bay at home, and we've all seen Green Bay. No great shakes with that team. Actually, you never know what you're going to get from that team because they're up and down. They're so up and down. They're up and down more than any NFL team. And then Jacksonville at home, which, that would be a case, hey, go ahead and give Jacksonville that L. But then they're at Kansas City. That's the tough one. And then the Chargers at home for the Denver Broncos. Again, it's a very favorable schedule. You can see, maybe 2 losses in general going, and that's considering a loss in Kansas City when they come here, but a very favorable schedule for the Broncos going forward.
Yeah, that's true. Well, no, like I said, I appreciate all you guys do. Love listening to y'all. It's going to be a great game this weekend. No matter what, I think the Chiefs are going to come out, man. We got to get after it, man. That's all I know. But yeah, they're going to have to step it up because that defense, the Broncos defense is number 1 on sacks, right? If I'm right about that.
Yeah, they have the most sacks, the most in 35 years. You have to go back to 1989.
If Mahomes is already having trouble, with like say the Bills, which obviously they've had a bye to rest, but if they had trouble with the Bills, I don't know, man. I just hope they do good. But thanks a lot, you guys. Appreciate you guys as always. All right?
All right, thanks, Bill. No, it's kind of funny because I did bring up 2023 when the Bills played over in London, right?
Sure.
You have a choice to take the bye week then or later. And their bye week just happened to be right before they played the Kansas City Chiefs. where the Buffalo Bills had their bye week back then. They close win, in the regular season versus, but just happened to have that bye week right before the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, what a coincidence on that one.
Yeah, what a coincidence there. But enjoy the parade, and we'll get back to it. But there's some interesting things down the line for the Kansas City Chiefs and what this means for this game in particular, and how good and historic is that Denver defense, and why we should be kind of worried about that, plus a Bo Nix stat that might make you think twice. We'll talk about that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Get ready, Missouri. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming soon. Starting on December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From touchdowns to three-pointers, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. With live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started. All on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. And you'll be all set to bet when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game of FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts 12/1/25. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG.
Hi there, I'm Charlie.
And I'm Carter. Our dad is Rex with Rex Buys KC.
If you're thinking about selling a home in Kansas City and don't know where to start, our dad can help.
Sometimes life throws curveballs, like moving for a new job, dealing with a divorce, or inheriting a house you weren't expecting.
Dad doesn't just make offers, he talks with people to help them understand all of their options. No pressure, and it doesn't cost anything to talk with his team.
He's a local home buyer who really knows Kansas City. If selling to him is the right choice, he'll give you a fair cash offer, and you can close on your timeline even in as little as 7 days.
He buys homes in any condition. No need for repairs, no fees, no surprises.
Just an honest, easy process so you feel good about your decision.
Want to talk to him? Call 816-330-6000 or go to rexbuyskc.com.
Rex Buys KC, helping people make smart choices one home at a time.
This holiday season, Target has your back with irresistibly cool gifts for everyone on your list. For the trendsetter, start with affordable beauty kits and gift sets. Need something the whole fam will love? Grab snuggly matching fits in every size and style. And for the thrill seekers, don't forget the hottest toys and tech of the season. Target's got you covered with the best deals for endless fun. Shop in store or online. And step into the holidays with Target. Restrictions apply.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tonight, expect a low of 56 with mostly cloudy skies.
Weather brought to you by Robert Half. Our recruiters' expertise and award-winning AI will find you the skilled candidates you want. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com/talent today.
It's go time.
Let's just kick. It's blocked. It's blocked. It's blocked. The Chiefs blocked the kick. They're going to stay undefeated. The Kansas City Chiefs blocked a 35-yard field goal attempt. Kansas City wins this game on a blocked field goal.
Listen to the Chiefs and Broncos this Sunday with pregame starting at noon, kickoff at 3:25, all right here on your home for Chiefs football. 96.5, The Fan.
Second down. Denver inside their one. Elway is under center. Now he pulls away again. His hands on his hips. He looks back at Gordon McCarter, the referee, said, hey, what gives?
Again, I have asked the defense to help lower the crowd noise. Any further
crowd noise problem will result in a charged timeout against Kansas City. Thank you for your cooperation.
Welcome back to After Hours, Jay Binkley, James Howe. That was when Elway was whining about the crowd noise, but that was at Arrowhead Stadium. So you get your chance in December for that, but they're going to let you be as loud as you want. Did you like how that referee's real apologetic there? Thank you very much. Thank you very much for listening. Very nice, ref.
Thank you for your cooperation, and then the whole stadium boos them out of there.
Thank you for your cooperation. Get this one, James. According to Elias Sports Bureau, Reed's .846 regular season winning percentage in games after the bye week is the best in NFL history among coaches with at least 10 of those games. John Harbaugh, 15-3 with an .833 winning percentage, and Mike Tomlin, 15-4 with the .789, ranked second and third on the all-time list. But the king of the bye is one Andy Reid. That's from the Elias Sports Bureau there.
That's no surprise to me. He's just been notorious for years for having his team ready to go.
Like, how are people feeling? Are you nervous about this game? Come with the Broncos? Because you've seen the Chiefs play this year. You've seen both sides. You've seen the Chiefs look bad. You've seen the Chiefs look good. You've seen the Chiefs those very close losses. And then you've seen Chiefs put teams completely away. They are the second highest team per drive, 2.83 points per drive. So they're very good at that. And they still have the number one fourth down defense at 23.5%, which is very good. Well, it's number one in the NFL, and they're 80% going for it on fourth downs, which they've already gone for it, one more fourth downs this year than all of last year, because they had 17 last year. They've already gone for it on fourth down at least 20 times this year. More and more teams are simply going for it. It's kind of been a new trend in football.
Yeah, I don't know if that's like a shift in mentality, analytic thing. I know a lot of teams are now heavily into the analytics, or if that's a lack of trust for Harrison Butker.
We'll see, too, James, if they're in the analytics, because I brought up last week how the Chiefs were at 25% on fourth down stopping people, which you look at Mahomes' whole career, it's been 57% teams on fourth down. It's down to 23.5. However, it was third most attempts on the Chiefs. Now they have had the bye week. Now they're seventh in the NFL as far as teams' attempts to go for on fourth down, but it puts Mahomes back on the field. They're very good with the short field position doing damage. I'll get to how good the Denver defense is here in a minute, but 913-586-7965 is the phone number and the Jay Southland Tow Service text line. How are you consuming this game this weekend? Good evening, Russell. How are you, my friend?
Well, it's not Russell. It's the Dustman, Binkley. I scammed the phone line. How you doing, my guy?
What's up, Dustman? You still well, no, you're in a good mood. Blue Springs beat Blue Springs South last week in an upset. They're playing Elias this weekend on the road, I do believe.
No, they're playing Jeff City.
Jeff City Elias, though.
Yeah. How about this sound?
Oh.
Anyways.
Dustman. Dustman.
You better believe it, baby. We're on the patio.
Oh, yeah.
We're listening to Binkster, and I had to get some Bink takes off.
Okay. We're talking to Dusty Likens, by the way, from the morning show. We call him Dustman, but this is the Dusty Likens. This is the Dusty Likens who tricked James.
Oh, I fleeced James. I went with Russell. There's never been a Russell that's called into the shows. No one. Russell's a name.
I don't think so.
This is a new caller.
I 100% thought it was a hey,
We've had everybody but a Russell.
How you doing, sweetheart? We fleeced the text line.
It got me.
Hey, so I want to bring this up, right? So I led all week. There's not a franchise in sports that I sports hate more than Denver.
Yes.
Is that with you, Binkley, and is that with you, James?
No, it's me too, Dustman, because I think their fans are the most annoying fans in the NFL, and I don't even think it's close. Buffalo, they're too busy celebrating their little Hallmark parade, so that's fine. But the Denver Broncos, I don't think they believe in their team. They're booing them. This is why the Chiefs, Dustman, get that early lead on the Broncos and get those boos coming down on Bo Nix and that Broncos team. That's what they need.
What's James's take on the Denver Broncos? Are they more hated than anybody else? There you go.
I hate them.
I didn't think that was a hot take.
Yeah. No, it's not Dustman, but James is a little bit younger than me. Of course, my age group, you'd say the Raiders, because the old school Chiefs hated the Raiders, and we did too. Back in the day when they were viable.
Yeah, but when you were
a good team.
When you were pissing your pants, you were watching John Elway rip your heart out.
Yeah, Elway did, man. He did. That was always the boogeyman. That's what Mahomes is. He's the Grim Reaper. He was the Grim Reaper before Mahomes. Meaning, you left a minute and a half on the clock, you were done. Because number 7 was coming out there, is going to end it. This is how they feel about Mahomes. Let her forget, Dusty. I talked to a guy in Denver. He did Denver radio. As we, we go on there and they come on here. But I brought him. It's just early on in Mahomes' career, and I said, "Yeah, it's fine, but we're going to have to worry about Mahomes like you've had to worry about Elway." And I was like, "You know what? That rings true."
Well, and I went on 2 different Denver stations after work today, and one station they opened the text line. I was called an arrogant asshat after I praised their entire defensive line and said I have a man crush on Nick Bonito, because who doesn't?
Yeah.
Like, could you imagine if anybody but Denver had that guy, right? Like, if the Chiefs just had that, that'd be a match made in heaven. That'd be like the Mahomes on defense. And still got called a clown. They said, get this guy off the air. And I was like, I don't think you guys understand that even though you've been dog pissed for the last, 7 years, that doesn't go away. Like, Peyton Manning was, I believe, maybe I'm wrong, Peyton Manning was contemplating on coming to Kansas City, and he ended up deciding to go to Denver because I think it was a Pioli thing.
Clark Hunt had said so. He went on one of the business shows, and he said so about Peyton Manning being out there, was interested. But Manning was working out, like with the Rockies facility and all that. So then John Elway, literally the only thing he did as a GM, went down there being John Elway and said, hey, Peyton, why don't you come here? And now Peyton lives in Denver, so go be it.
Right. And then not only that, you remember, if I can go back in time a little bit, you remember Emmanuel Sanders. I know James knows this. You remember Emmanuel Sanders was damn near in MCI, ready to go see Clark Hunt's suite at Arrowhead.
And that was real.
And that was real. He was going to be a Chief.
Yes, he
and
was.
He goes, you know what? Actually, I'm going to follow Peyton over to Denver. To hell with Kansas City. And then we went through this just terrible time in Kansas City, and we got to watch Peyton Manning, who could have gone anywhere in the world, anywhere except New England and Pittsburgh, and he went to effing Denver, and they ripped our hearts out. Then, not only that, Tim Tebow had to happen, and Tim Tebow, and I had to witness. This is the worst game I've ever seen in Arrowhead in my entire life, and Tim Tebow beat us with a pass, I think, to like Eric Decker down the field at like the end of the game, or like late in the third quarter. I think the final score was like 14-7.
Yeah.
It was the worst football game I've ever seen with my eyes. And I've seen a lot of bad football games. So I was just making sure, as I was sitting here collecting my thoughts on a few suds, listening to my buds, and I figured I can't be the only one thinking, because Bob said he hates the Vegas Raiders, which, whatever.
It just depends. I mean, it's never the Chargers. It's never the Chargers. But for me, Dusty, it's always kind of, I know the Raiders sit out there, and it's obviously a traditional rival with this team. But for most part, these guys, I mean, the Chiefs are 17-3 in the last decade against the Broncos. So a lot of the guys growing up don't really understand the Chiefs-Broncos rivalry. And hey,
Mahomes has lost one game to the Broncos, and he had the flu.
One. And his first win was against them. Remember, they had nothing. He had the guy that went to Miami. Who was the receiver that went to Miami that played in that 2000s?
Oh, you're talking about Albert Wilson.
Albert Wilson, so who's on the back of the milk carton as soon as he left.
Mahomes was so effing good in his first ever start. They put in your boy from Tennessee, Tyler Bray.
Yeah,
and he effed it up, and he got the game back to some nonsense. And Andy Reid goes, actually, why don't you go back in, Pat, and win this game? And Mahomes went down the field. Yep. They kicked a field goal and they won. It was foreshadowing.
That's when Kareem Hunt. That's when Kareem Hunt had the big run, right? The one run they pulled him out because he had the rushing lead. Yeah.
He made Chris Wilson look good. He got Albert Wilson paid.
Yeah.
No hands Harris. Demetrius Harris had one of the greatest catches of the season. He couldn't catch a cold, and he caught one of the best catches of the season against Denver in Week 17. Yes, Albert Wilson got, I think, $142 million from Miami or something like that. He had I think in that game he had 10 catches for 140.
Oh, he does, and he hadn't done crap. He was the milk carton guy. That's why I used to call Wilson, because he left and you didn't hear from him.
Yeah, it's like the Dennis the Menace. Hey, Mr. Wilson. The other thing I want to get into is how great was the Internet Invitation?
That was great stuff, man. That was great. I enjoyed it.
Fantastic tournament. That Mo guy definitely cheated. He turned his rangefinder off before he got busted. And then the hatred towards our girl, Binkley, can't be accepted.
Yeah, that can't be accepted.
You got to go into haters against Paige Sporanic. You got to be a bodyguard.
James, you know who we're talking about with Paige?
I know who Paige Sporanic is.
Is that your favorite? Let's be honest. Is that your favorite? It's my favorite.
Well,
I think Dusty's favorite too.
Like Binkley, I
My
want to
wife
ask you
might
a
be
serious.
listening.
Damn, James. Okay, I got a serious. I think I know how we get down in the household. But like, I want to bring this hypothetical to you. Let's say I have two options. You can go and have the rest of your life with Paige Spiranek. Rest of your life, married, happy. She doesn't take your pizza cutter. She loves you for who you are.
She didn't take the pizza cutter. Okay.
Or I can tell you exactly what happens the rest of the NFL season.
Well, you know what? I do like surprises, Dust Man. So I would take Paige.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure you're on the same page as me, that you would go with the right option.
Turn that page, Dust Man.
Hey, Bob Seger said it best with the Silver Bullet Band. Boys, I love you two to death. I just wanted to crash your show for a little bit. This isn't Russell. It's the Dust Man. Binkley, James, I love you guys. Keep doing your work.
You're the best, Dust Man. Dust Man's the absolute Russell, Dust Man, a.k.a. Dust Man, the best. And he's having fun. He's cracking the beer. I love that, man. I encourage you. We have the text line says, hey, I just took my first Coors Light, Jay. And I'm like, all right, cool. Welcome to the show. That's what you do on Friday night. Kick your feet up, you relax, and you watch high school football, whether online or whether you're at the game or whatever, or you went down to Jeff City, Elias to watch Blue Springs play as they're going. But, yeah, Dusty talked about that invitational this morning. It's very good stuff. Very good stuff. Go back and listen to that. I recommend everybody goes back and listens to Bob and Dusty this morning. Dusty had some thoughts on that show and some things that reminded him of, and it was absolutely great. But, yeah, we're kind of Paige Spranik's kind of near and dear to a few of our hearts.
Wow. Yeah, I bet she is.
Well, James, you can say that. I'm sure that you can. I know you're married and stuff, but you can't say something like somebody's hot.
Oh yeah, for
Okay.
sure. Yeah, no, we'll look together.
All right, slow down, James. I know you're a little freaky, man.
Turn my mic off.
You keep going, James. Al, big game tomorrow for you, James. Keep the dynasty rolling. Anyway, we'll talk about the Denver Broncos and historic defense. It was great hearing from Dusty on his porch, man. Is there anything better than hearing from Dusty out there having fun on a Friday night from his porch?
That was awesome.
Or Russell.
He tricked me. I got to give him that.
Tricked me too.
But it was a pleasant surprise, no doubt.
We used to do a howl when he was the Dirty Werewolf.
Yeah.
Because he was the Dirty Werewolf before, but he retired the name.
Yeah.
Because we called him that. I guess I likened him as a werewolf or something. Vern actually, I think, termed him the Dirty Werewolf. And I love the Dirty Werewolf. And so we used to howl. And then we get Dusty to call in sometimes. And then it's the Dust Man now. It's the Dust Man.
Call him the Crown Jewel.
Crown Jewel, whatever you want to call Dust
Crown
Man.
Jewel.
But yeah, Dust Man. We'll talk about the Broncos Chiefs more coming up next. Thank you, Dusty.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
You know, there's millions of people without the health insurance they need. I get it. You feel like it's too pricey, a headache to deal with. You deserve something better. And better health. We're on a mission to get everyone high-quality, affordable health insurance. You have health insurance needs. We have plans with low out-of-pocket premiums, with in-network preventive care at no cost to you, and a network of local doctors and hospitals. So if you're still shopping for health insurance, go to ambetterhealth.com/enroll to get your free, no-obligation quote. That's ambetterhealth.com/enroll. For coverage to start January 1st, you must enroll by December 15th. Find the plan that's right for you right now. ambetterhealth.com/enroll. Ambetter Health, on a mission for better. Ambetter Health is the brand name for health insurance products underwritten by subsidiaries of Centene Corporation. Go to ambetterhealth.com to see offerings in your state. This is a solicitation for insurance.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a little more.
I'm worth a lot more.
I completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars, because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100. For top price, trust, and ease of transaction, GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Gear? Check. Snacks? Check. Tires? Not so much. I didn't have time to deal with this, so I asked my friend. Her answer was simple. Take it to Telly, she said, and I'm so glad I did. They didn't just take care of my tires, they took care of me. We got you, they said, and they did. Fast, friendly, and stress-free. Now I know when life throws you a red card, take it to Telly. Stay in the game. Take it to Telly.
Hey, it's Brian Balding here. Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. Makita tools at the Home Depot are built with precision. Without shortcuts, Makita delivers results that reward hard work. Year after year, designed for the toughest jobs. It's a choice for pros who invest in performance, not just tools. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best, available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
You think you understand how this business works, but you don't.
Landman, TV's biggest phenomenon, returns to Paramount Plus. From Taylor Sheridan, co-creator of Yellowstone, starring Billy Bob Thornton.
You have to know the rules of the game and bend them, and you really have to know them to break them.
Demi Moore.
I want success. Get it for me.
Andy Garcia, Ali Larder, and Sam Elliott.
You don't even know the game you're playing, do you?
Landman, new season, streaming November 16th, only on Paramount Plus.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com, because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, E-T-H-O-S, ethos.com/play.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Today an ankle earlier in the game. The punt by Mike Dante Hall backing up to the 8-yard line. Dancing. Middlebrooks can't get him. Look, now he's back inside the 5, but finds a seam. He's gone. He's got the kicker to beat, and that's Knorr. Ladies and gentlemen, you are watching something that has never happened before in the National Football League. 7 returns for a touchdown in 10 games. Incredible.
Hey, welcome back to After Hours. Good stuff there, James. That should be a ringtone, by the way. You brought in all your Super Bowl rings. I'm surprised that's not your ringtone.
I need to get. I would rather have like a Mitch call when they won the Super Bowl. You know,
nice clear Mitch call.
Yeah, good exciting one.
Yeah.
Maybe from like the 49ers.
Every call of Mitch is exciting.
Well, that's true.
And he joins Bob and Dusty every Friday at 7:20, I think, something like that. I usually wake up every morning. I set my alarm to wake up for Fesco, Likens, and Mac Morey. And now he's back from Spain. Well, I did with Kramer as well, and Nathan that was there, and JT and all the guys. Sure. They did a great job. But I always wake up in the morning and listen to those guys. They set the tempo. Did the same thing today. I mean, there's times I do fall back asleep because, you know, I am old. So sometimes I do. But I try to. Like, I try to wake up and listen to what they're setting the tone for the day. When people are going to work, listen to Dusty and Bob and, you know, getting the real feel of Kansas City and what they're doing. Yeah, and Dusty's right. The Broncos hatred, that's alive and well with a lot of people. And now with them being a relevant team, that starts spiking up again. So it is fun. And I get the whole, you know, it's a great team, well coached and all that. Yeah, that's fine. But it wouldn't be bad if they sucked either.
Yeah, no, to your point, man, I wake up every single morning, go do DoorDash. I'm out about 7:30. I'm there with Dusty Likens, Fesco, and Mac, man.
Russell.
I'm just locked in. I love their show.
Here in Russell.
Huh?
Here in Russell.
Yeah, Russell. Yeah, that's right.
Clemson, Louisville on now. We have some Friday night football. Not only high school football, great high school football action. We get this, then we have Minnesota versus the number 8 Oregon Ducks coming up at 8 o'clock on Fox. So a couple games here on Friday night. I did hear from a ex-player from the Chiefs that's calling for no sacks the Chiefs give up this weekend, which has happened. Everybody, Super Bowl 57, everybody talking about the vaunted pass rush of the Philadelphia Eagles. That's one time where you see an offensive line like came together, like we hope this one does, and I'll play Andy Reid and what he said here in a little bit, but he's going to talk to Andy Heck, the offensive line coach, on Josh Simmons, whether he's ready to go or not. I hope he is, because that line had some pride. They remember the parade, they wore the no sacks allowed shirts. Remember Orlando Brown, the whole crew, Super Bowl 57, they wore the shirts. Everybody was talking about the Eagles' vaunted pass rush. It was good. It was number 1 in the NFL. The Chiefs were actually number 2. They actually spent 2 years at number 2. They dropped down to 18 last year. They're sitting at 20 this year. So they have been able to get to the quarterback before, although this total defense, scoring defense, very good in the NFL, and total defense 6. But they were exceptionally good there in those years, and I don't think people realized it. But I talked about the Broncos, and we've talked about Andy Reid after the bye. But the Broncos do have some things going for them. By the way, this is from the Denver Post. 1,908 yards from Mahomes this season when he isn't pressured. When he isn't pressured. The pressure is a big thing, right? Because Mahomes is 28 of 71 passing under pressure, according to Next Gen Stats. So it's great when there's no pressure. That's why the offensive line, keep that pressure off Mahomes so he can do what he does. But I'm expecting a lot of short passes. I'm expecting Worthy in motion, quick hitter to him. I'm expecting short passes for the Chiefs, kind of matriculating down the field, to borrow a term from Hank Stram, to do that, because until he feels comfortable throwing deep, because that, again, the Broncos will get after. And the caller that brought up their sack, they have 46, Big Al, I think, 46 sacks on the year. The nearest team to them is 32. They have 46. We haven't seen this many sacks since 1989 with the Minnesota Vikings. So they are unreal on that.
But, at the end of the day, there's not many teams that have put in as much capital into their offensive line as the Kansas City Chiefs. They need to step up, and they need to protect Mahomes. And I do expect to see some quick passes and some rhythm, some plays to kind of get them in some rhythm.
Yeah.
But this offensive line needs to step up and keep our quarterback upright.
And they can, because that line took pride. I haven't really seen an offensive line take as much pride as what that one did, because that was great. And obviously, last year, not a good example of the offensive line, but they did take pride. That game, they had to step up, and they did. Here's another number for you. 28 times, this is from the Denver Post, 28 times Zach Allen. Everybody talks about Benito, but don't forget about Zach Allen on the other side. He had over 8 sacks last year. He's got 6 this year. 28 quarterback hits through 10 games. That's the most in the NFL.
That's insane.
He does have 6 sacks, but 28 times he has gotten to the quarterback and hit the quarterback. Then the other stat with Bo Nix, the guy that everybody's talking about, having a down year, which kind of he is. What do you got? What do you got in Bo Nix? He's got 4 game-winning drives, though. And I always caution people, hey, despite what he does quarter 1 through 3, he has been a very good quarterback in the fourth quarter. I was diving into some stuff, too, on Pro Football Reference before the show, James, and he's started 27 games, Nix. There's only 5 times he hadn't thrown a touchdown pass. 5 games. The last 18 games Bo Nix has played, despite how bad he's played or whatever you want to say, he has thrown a touchdown pass in 18 straight games. So we can say we want about him, but he's delivered a touchdown pass in 18 straight, which is 5th longest streak in NFL history.
Yeah, that's consistency. I know he hasn't played very well in the first 3 quarters, but he does what good teams do, and they find ways to win. And whether that's just playing his heart out in the fourth quarter and getting them back, then that's what he has to do. I got to give him credit there.
And that defense is on a pace for 78 sacks, which would be an NFL record. And they're also, the unit has the highest quarterback pressure percentage, almost 43%. It's 42.9, almost 43% of any team in the Next Gen Stats era. Nick Benito, speaking of Benito, he has 51 pressures. Zach Allen is tied for the most pressures among defensive tackles. And, of course, Zach Allen, with those 28 quarterback hits, can't be ignored. They do get to the quarterback.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough task. It's gonna be a tall task for that offensive line, but they got to do something. They got to keep Mahomes upright, because as soon as he starts getting a little jittery, that's when we see him put on his cape, and that's when mistakes happen.
And they've done well, because they had the Defensive Player of the Year last year in Patrick Surtain, who's hurt out this game, of course. In the draft, they did draft Jahdae Barron out of Texas, a corner. They did a smart thing. Denver understood the task at hand, which is 9 straight division titles for the team in the division, the Chiefs, right? So how do we draft, despite the Russell Wilson crap that he put him in, that hole he put him in, How do we build this defense up? And can you sustain that? No, because everybody goes different places in the NFL, and your defense returns back to form. The one thing that only stays the same and constant is a franchise quarterback. So the here and now is the Broncos defense. We know how good they are. The here and now is them. Can this be sustainable? It's like the Colts. We look at the Colts with Daniel Jones. Is that sustainable? They think it is. They give up 2 first-round picks to bring in Sauce Gardner. For a quarterback that's had 7 turnovers in the last 2 games, is that the answer going forward? Or is it Jonathan Taylor doing his MVP-type stuff, or is it Tyler Warren that leads the NFL tight ends in yards? Which one is it? And the Broncos, yes, this defense is built to win now, but is it built for the long haul? Because defenses do come back to the pack when everybody starts hitting free agency and going different directions, but they understood the task. So Denver drafts Jahdae Barron, who's got a pick already when filling in for Surtain. He's only played about 40% of the snaps. He's kind of been a disappointment to them. Some people would say it's the best rookie they have, but he didn't get on the field as much as you would expect with Surtain hurt. But I will say this. They understood the task, and that's stopping the Kansas City Chiefs. So while the Chargers drafted a Marion Hampton in the first round who's on IR, and while the running back, and while the Raiders drafted a running back in the first round, that's Austin Gentry. That's great. But does it stop Mahomes? See, Denver understood getting a cornerback is one way to go in the direction to stop Mahomes. Buffalo got the message. Their first 5 draft picks were defensive players. They go out and get Bosa in the offseason. We saw what he did against the Chiefs, just like Von Miller in the past. I mean, it's stopping Kansas City. Buffalo is so tunnel vision towards stopping the Chiefs like the Chiefs were stopping the Patriots. But the Patriots have kind of snuck up, and they're probably going to win the division. So while they're worried about the Chiefs, well, guess what? The Patriots giving them something to worry about, which, honestly, if you want the Bills to win the division, it might not be the worst thing because in the wild card standings, they do have the head-to-head over the Chiefs. Forget about the Jaguars. But all 3 teams that sit in the wild card have head-to-head wins over the Kansas City Chiefs, in the Chargers, in the Bills, in the Jaguars. So it's just not straight Jacksonville. Coming up next, I'll deliver Andy Reid's fast, minute and a half from today. Always a fast one, but it's always the best one because you find out who's playing or not.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, Kansas City, this is Jeff Briggs with Victory Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram, home of the Victory Effect, our pledge to drive down vehicle pricing for the city we love. Today, I'm here to tell you about an exciting offer for the remainder of the month. While supplies last, Victory is offering 3 ways to save on all remaining 2025 Ram half-tons, the winner of the coveted Motor Trend Truck of the Year. Here's how it works. You get to pick from 3 great offers like $5,000 off and 0% for 72 months on all remaining 2025 Ram 1500s, or $11,000 off and 3.9% for 72 months, or an astonishing $16,000 off with standard financing. Folks, it's no secret it's been the same for years. The best time to buy a new pickup truck is during the model year-end closeout. Business owners, come see us today and ask about additional year-end savings from Ram exclusively for you. Supplies are dwindling fast, so hurry in and take advantage of this offer. Visit us at Kansas City's only automotive outlet mall, the Legends Auto Plaza, on the southeast corner of 435 and Parallel, just east of Nebraska Furniture Mart, or online at victorymotorskc.com, where our first price is better than their last.
Bring tournament energy to the regular season with an NBA Cup odds boost token from BetMGM. The token is already waiting for you in your BetMGM account. So simply visit your promotions page and add an NBA Cup bet to your bet slip. Activate your token, and if your bet hits, you'll score extra winnings. BetMGM is the place to shoot your shot all season long. New this year, BetMGM has improved its app to include dark mode, a brand new rewards hub, and matchup and market insights for your bets. Head over to your BetMGM account today and grab your NBA Cup odds boost token to score a bigger payout if you win. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM, authorized gaming partner of the NBA.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and may expire in 1 to 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
I'm Mitch Holtis, voice of the Chiefs. Everyone develops cataracts naturally as they get older. When your vision is affected by cataracts, you should see my doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein at Silverstein Eye Centers. Dr. Silverstein is a world-renowned cataract surgeon who performs life-changing laser-assisted cataract surgery with premium lens implants to correct your vision up close and far away. Trust my eye doctor, Dr. Steven Silverstein, Silverstein Eye Centers, 816-358-3600 to schedule an appointment.
Feeling lucky? Then Saturday, November 29th is your night, because luck is alive at Harrah's Kansas City during the night of 101 winners. We're handing out a massive $120,000 in free play and cash. That's $1,000 every 5 minutes. 101 winners, and you could be one of them. Want to stack the odds? Play on Wednesdays in November and earn 10 times the entries for even more chances to strike it lucky. Only at Harrah's Kansas City, where winners are made. 21 or older to gamble. Know when to stop before you start. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Nationwide is so much more than a great insurance company. They're one of America's largest financial services companies. Like how I'm more than Saquon Barkley, the NFL's reigning leading rusher. I'm also the NFL's leading husher. Shh, hush up back there. Wow, I might have just set the hushing record. Well, almost. For your insurance and financial needs, Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Investment Services Corporation, member FINRA, Columbus, Ohio.
eBay has reinvented vehicle buying. From click to curb, everything's covered. Ever try to buy a car online and end up in a parking lot with a stranger and some blind trust? That era is over. Now with Secure Purchase, eBay isn't just where you find your car. It's where you buy it, start to finish. Title, financing, registration, delivery, it's all built in. This is the modern way to buy your next ride on eBay. eBay. Things people love. Secure Purchase is powered by Caramel Dealer Services, LLC, an eBay subsidiary.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, James Howell producing the operation. All right, James, hit it. Why are we playing Hallelujah? Well, for YouTube subscribers, you may want to pay attention. Per Adam Schefter, 5 minutes ago on X, the Walt Disney Company announces multi-year distribution agreement with YouTube TV. As obviously YouTube's been down. He's a huge subscriber. Many people have YouTube. I do not. But again, it says as part of the new deal, Disney's full suite of networks and stations, including ESPN and ABC, which, by the way, the ABC games have been fantastic, 11, 2:30, and 6:30 for college football. They've been the highest rated. They've been unbelievable. Have already begun to be restored to YouTube TV subscribers. So if you're in your car right now and you're like, you know what? I don't have ESPN and all this. I'm going to go to dinner with the wife or whatever. Cancel your plans, man. Head right on back to the crib, man, and start watching YouTube. Yeah, turn that car around. You don't need to go to dinner now. Just go back home and watch your damn YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
It's right there for you.
Yeah, you got some sports to watch.
You know, and they did. ESPN did show the College Game Day still on their app and online. You could watch it, but YouTube is back and restored. I had this problem with Spectrum a couple years ago. I guess people don't care about it, which surprises me. It was the second largest cable company in the world, even though it's streaming, just like YouTube is. You can get it streaming or hardline cable, whatever you want. But so I'd go to a sports bar. That's what I was doing for the 10 days that they had their little hiatus with ESPN because they shut it down right before the Tigers game. It was pregame show, Tim Tebow, everybody, in Columbia. Then, boom, they shut it off right when the game started. So I went down to a favorite watering hole, got some nachos, got some beers, and I watched football for a long time. I mean, I was putting 12-hour days. I mean, I would have to switch to some Mountain Dew there for a while and stuff, just to kind of keep it cool. But it's definitely call your Uber and go to the bar.
Yeah, I mean, that's extremely inconvenient. But at the same time, I love watching games at the bar. I mean, maybe not 12 hours at a day, but, it's nice.
Someone on text line for the 913 says, when you played that music, I thought Bink was going to announce that he finally got Mother's Winter Grind. Hit it again, James. I do have Mother's Winter Grind, and I have Sam Adams Winter Lager. I've been complaining about this for a long time, literally every show. I'd bitch and moan, complain, whine, you name it, because I didn't have my winter beers. Well, by calling liquor stores, people gave me crap about it. They got my phone number, and they said, Jay, we have some for you. We're holding it. Come on down and get your beer.
See,
Get
that's
your damn
the
beer.
reward you get for being proactive.
I was persistent. I was very
Yeah.
persistent. I was very active. I was very proactive for it.
And
I already
screw
had my
what everyone else
Oktoberfest, but you know
says.
what, though? We turned the page. P-A-G-E, page burning. We turned the page after Halloween with Oktoberfest, and we go there. 816 says, I don't know why. I didn't know Waffle House had sports, Bink. No, they don't. Waffle House is still a great place. But also, someone here on the text line said we must be twins because they like beer, they like boobs, and they like the 3-4 defense.
And the 3-4 defense.
How can you go wrong with any of
I
that?
love that jingle.
It's a great song. It's a great song.
Oh, it's so awesome. I want to get it and just download it, and maybe I put that as my ringtone.
It's catchy. It's
I'm
very,
telling
very,
you.
very catchy. But anyway, here was what Andy Reid said today. We'll play this right before break. It's only minute 34. It's called Fast Fridays with Andy Reid, but he gives you the clue of who's out, who's in, and then I'll let you know exactly, too.
All right. The only person that didn't practice today was Pacheco, so everybody else went and did a good job. Xavier, I know, was on that list, and he's had an ankle that he just tweaked it a little bit, but he was good to go. He did everything today, no problems. Look forward to the challenge of playing Denver. Good football team, great environment. Our guys have had a good week of practice, so we look forward to going up there. Time George here.
Coach, how was George Karlaftis?
Yeah, George did a nice job today, I thought. So, yeah, good.
What he says his job, so his progress?
Yeah, listen, he did go. I'm going to get with Heck here and just we'll go back. We look at the video here and just make sure everything's okay there. But he's done some good things. And I want to check with him first before I say anything here.
Is there a chance he would be the starting lineup on the season?
There's a chance. Well, let me just see, and then you guys will know. There are not a lot of secrets in this business.
So there's Andy Reid. Talk about secrets, because what's going to happen is Ian Rappaport or Adam Schefter or something will be tweeting out probably Saturday night that Simmons is a starter for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's not on the injury report at all. Not at all. He's full participant. Doesn't have a game designation. Only one Chief does. I mentioned the Broncos, 5 guys out, 1 questionable. The key ones are Surtain, obviously, out, and J.K. Dobbins for them. For the Kansas City Chiefs, it's Pacheco. He is out. He is ruled out. He's the only Chief with a game designation. Now, Xavier Worthy with that ankle, full participant today, limited yesterday, but full today, which is huge because if you're a full participant today on Friday, things look good for you. Karlaftis has been limited with his thumb on Wednesday and Thursday, full participant today. Simmons, too, is a situation where he's been full participant all week. Andy said he'll get with Andy Heck, the offensive line coach, to maybe go over a few film. What's he doing in practice? How good? Well, the bye week definitely helps get him out there. I think game week would have been different, but having that bye week in between, that's good. But again, time to have some pride, man. Do a good enough job in this game. Get yourself some T-shirts, man. Get yourself some T-shirts that says no sacks allowed. That's exactly what the Kansas City Chiefs need. But there are good news because I did get that winter beer that'll be dived into a little bit this weekend. Of course, we'll be back with you Sunday morning as well, but it gives me all day Saturday to imbibe in it, James. Gives me all day tonight, and we're done, to imbibe in said suds. So I'm looking forward to doing that, and going to go home.
I mean, it's Friday night.
And watch some of that Oregon game later. We got Clemson-Louisville on right now. As Clemson trying to get, I never thought I'd say it, but trying to get bowl eligible at this point. But regardless, talk a little bit about the regular around the NFL and just what it means, what the Chiefs have and what everybody else wants. Is New England have that? We'll talk about that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbor's attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes! T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet. And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with auto pay and any voice line. And it's guaranteed for 5 years.
Beautiful yodeling, Carl.
Taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com/ISP for details and exclusions.
Get ready, Missouri. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook, is coming soon. Starting on December 1st, new customers in Missouri can get up to $300 in bonus bets when you make your first $5 bet. From touchdowns to three-pointers, with FanDuel, any play can be the play of the game. With live betting, you can even get in on the action after the game has already started. All on an app that's safe, secure, and easy to use. Visit FanDuel.com/Missouri to learn more. And you'll be all set to bet when FanDuel goes live in Missouri on December 1st. That's FanDuel.com/Missouri. Play your game of FanDuel, the #1 rated sportsbook app. Must be 21 and present in Missouri. First online real money wager only. $5 first deposit required. Offer starts 12/1/25. Excludes customers who redeem pre-launch sign-up offer. Bonus issue is non-withdrawable bonus bets which expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit fanduel.com/RG.
It's time to build that dream deck over at All Weather Decks. Schedule a free estimate today at 913-206-1974 or online at allweatherdecks.net. All Weather Decks, the right deck at the right price.
Hey, football fans, tune in this week to kick off with Boomer and Valenti, where the guys break down the biggest headlines and storylines from across the NFL. Kickoff with Boomer and Valenti is brought to you by the Home Depot. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita, available at the Home Depot. How pros get more done.
Hey, I'm Mike Slater. My dad passed away at the age of 63. It's out of nowhere. Had a stroke. Super hard, obviously, for the whole family, but my dad had life insurance. This is why I have life insurance for my family, for my wife and 4 kids. And the best place to get life insurance is ethos.com because you can do it in 10 minutes. And there's no medical exam and no blood test, just a few health questions. Get life insurance in 10 minutes so your family is protected. Ethos, ETHOS, ethos.com/play.
At Audion Hearing, our mission is simple: to make better hearing affordable for everyone. We're proud to offer high-quality, rechargeable hearing aids starting at just $98. Clear, comfortable, and ready to use right out of the box. And here's a study worth hearing. Research shows that wearing hearing aids can reduce your risk of dementia by up to 61%. Join over 1 million happy customers and hear the difference today by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
Chiefs, Broncos, Sunday with kickoff at 3:25 right here on 96.5 The Fan. KFNZ FM and AM, HD1 and HD2 Kansas City in Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back, 7 o'clock hour, after hours. Jay Binkley, James Howell producing the operation. Shout out to the YouTube people watching the show on YouTube. We're doing after hours on YouTube now. Sean O'Neill, he was always remember Sean. He was part of our Virtual Royals crew. Watch our Virtual Royals each and every night, and that was always a lot of fun back when basically the sports world shut down, but we had Virtual Royals going on, and Sean was a big part of that. By the way, this Clemson's up 3-0 over Louisville. Louisville's got a guy that we really like a lot on character concerns. Chris Spell, this wide receiver. Get bored, watch this. Leading receiver for Louisville. 6'2", 220. This dude's a stud. I think he's top 4 receiver in the draft this year, if the Chiefs go that way. We did release it, James. We released our on character concerns this week, me and Chris on the podcast. We released the first mock. So it's, I guess, it's always time to mock, right? Always.
Yeah,
always.
Right. It's never too early, right?
No, it's never too early. So we released the first one, and we did it through a site like PFF, and so it has everybody drafting. So we see what's kind of there, what people are looking for. And it came down to, and Chris had made the selection for this one, but we both definitely are in favor of this. Christian Miller, the defensive tackle out of Georgia, and he plays on the edge. He'll play 3 technique. He'll even go and play 0 with the nose. He'll do a lot of things they want Norman Lott to do. They tried to bulk him up a little bit so he could play the 0 and the 1, but he's more of a 3 technique kind of defensive line. But Christian Miller can do it all. And it's a Spags guy, man. Can play the outside, the inside, wherever. So that was what we released this week on the podcast. As much as I want offense, which I do, which I clearly do, there's other rounds to do offense.
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to catch
And we
that.
did. And we did.
On the Odyssey app because of course that's what I listen to all the shows on.
We addressed running back though with Justice Haynes. Got him out of Michigan because he's the former Alabama transfer. He's hurt now. Transferred to Michigan. I really like that for the backfield for the Chiefs. We went as high as the 3rd round for running backs. We didn't wait for the 7th round. Didn't wait for that. They need to go earlier.
And you know what? If I'm going to be honest, I really do rely on you and Chris to let me know what's going on. I don't keep track of college football. So, no, I appreciate the work that you guys do over there. It's a great show, great podcast.
We have fun with it, but definitely there's some things that people want. Obviously, defensive line becomes priority, obviously, and edge. Yeah. And I think running back really imperative, too, because I don't know if they're going to bring Kareem Hunt yet back for another year. He came back this year, which, by the way, we'll have to find out what's going on. With Pacheco out, is it going to be Elijah Mitchell finally activated? And we'll find out probably Saturday night or to Sunday morning. Or is it going to be Clyde again? Clyde was elevated against the Bills because he has previous experience against the Bills, albeit his 161 yards came years ago. But they trusted him in pass protection, which is the number one key for the Kansas City Chiefs. Mitchell actually got more money in a signing bonus and contract than what Kareem Hunt got. But with Pacheco probably going off to free agency, they're going to move on after the year from that. And I know they get Bouchard in the 7th round, but they're probably going to go back to running back much, much earlier this season. And I still think a tight end will be imperative, too. If Travis Kelce, if this is swan song and he's done, which will be, turning 37 next year. So it's time to look. I've been wanting the tight end for years, but the problem with tight ends, it's very thin. Like in the first round, if you can get a Kenyon Sadiq, which I think out of Oregon will be the top tight end, even a Max Clare at Ohio State, or you can get Eli Stowers at Vanderbilt. I think Stowers and Kenyon Sadiq will be gone in the first round. And again, you'd hope the Chiefs would be drafted at the end. But right now, they're 17th. The 17th in draft order because of the record. But there is good news about that there, James. They're 17th in the waiver wire, too. They're not sitting at the end. Like this year before the season started, they're sitting at 31 because they went to the Super Bowl. Now, after 3 weeks, the NFL resets waiver wire. They use the same draft order in reverse for the waiver wire from the year before. So it's basically the same draft order that they had. Then after 3 weeks, they reset it, and you go worse records. So obviously the Chiefs' record's not good. They're sitting 17th. And the good news is most of the teams that are ahead of them have a ton of losses. Probably not teams in the addition mode. If the Chiefs want to add, like they did Suggs when he cleared waivers and they grabbed Terrell Suggs, could they get like a Calais Campbell or something that wants to go win a ring at 39 years old and go off into sunset? So the Chiefs could technically do that too, I suppose.
Yeah, and let me throw a name out there that just recently got cut, and that's Colin Saunders. I could see the Chiefs.
And he did clear waiver. He was put on waiver. He did clear him because vested veterans after the trade deadline. Because beforehand they can sign with anybody. They don't have to go through the waiver process, but now they do. Once you hit the trade deadline, you got to go through the waiver process. It's 24 hours. He was put on, but it's off now, so he's free to sign with whoever he wants to. And obviously, there's that draw, and I know Chiefs fans want Colin coming back. And I'll say this: the Chiefs do like former players. They just do. And it's knowing the system, man. It's Mike Pennell coming back here for the 3rd time. It's Juju coming back here. It's Hardman when he did come back here.
Yeah, and it's just the
now he's with Buffalo practice squad.
Right. It's the complexity of the system, right? Andy Reid's system, Steve Spagnuolo's system is very complex, and so they love these former players that already know what they're doing. They don't have to bring them up to speed, and
there is some truth to that. Loyalty is really big with them. As far as people that have been here and done before, classic exhibit A was Clyde getting elevated to the active roster, even though it was limited carries because of what he does in pass protection. And he did say that, and he knows the playbook. And there is something to it. You would hope Elijah would know it at this point, too. He probably does. It's been wait and see with him. Break glass in case of emergency. Well, we're getting close to that break glass time for Elijah Mitchell, to be quite honest with you. And they've done it before with Jet McKinnon, where they start really unleashing him after week 7, after week 8, and you'd see more from Jet McKinnon back at the time. But the bottom line is they need running back help, and I think this will be addressed in the draft. I mean, who knows? And corners, here's the one thing. Yeah, we had a corner going very early, A.J. Harris out of Penn State in the Chiefs mock we did in the 2nd round. But the bottom line is the Chiefs turned mid-round picks at corners to studs. The Chiefs are very good in the mid to late rounds. Very good.
Yes.
I mean, you look at this team, and you look, all right, who's number one picks? Okay. Well, Simmons clearly was on the offensive line. Trey Smith's the highest paid guard. He was a 6th-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
Creed Humphrey, the highest paid center, 2nd-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
And again, Travis Kelce, a 3rd-round pick. So it's what you do with your picks. And look at all these defensive backs. Like Noah Williams, 4th-round pick. He's the highest graded player now, if you buy into Pro Football Focus and whatnot. But he's very good. Noah Williams is very good. And they turned Snead in to be a 4th-round pick to a guy that they got a draft pick for out of the Titans, and they moved on. But this is what they do. Jalen Watson set up for a pretty big contract in the National Football League next year, whether he stays here or not, because they still got to re-up Trent McDuffie, which he was a 1st-round pick. I get it. So sometimes if you do get corner in the 1st round, you're getting a stud. But they've had a lot of success getting corners in the mid-rounds. And credit Brett Veach for that. Because he gets these guys, and all of a sudden, it's like a curse and a blessing, because then you have to pay them. Because you draft them way undervalued. Like Jalen Watson, who's going to get a lot of money, he's a 7th-round pick. That was a 7th-round pick that helped you win a ring. And so did Pacheco, to be honest with you. The first year he's your starter is a 7th-round pick. So Nazi Johnson, that contributed as well in special teams and some sniffs on defense, 7th-round pick. So you draft these guys late, and they turn into commodities. Just like the whole Parker Anger trade that he made with Dallas for Serviarius Ward. Remember, Ward comes in, starts, eventually gets that big contract with the Niners. But again, that's doing smooth things. They really value their assistants, like a Dave Merritt in defensive backs and Spags, having a defensive back pedigree that he does, being defensive-minded. They do consult these guys. It's one thing that makes the Chiefs so good in the front offices. They do consult. You don't have to pick them, but 5 or 6 guys, what do you think? Like, you're not looking at the whole, 256 guys drafted. Here's 5 or 6 at this position. Who do you like best?
Right.
It's the same argument with Mahomes when he was drafted, because we hear it all the time in the text line. It was Dorsey was the GM, but Veach was doing the scouting. Veach is blowing up Lee Steinberg's phone draft night, which we know as a fact because we had Lee Steinberg on. It said as much that it was Brett Veach doing it. But I always caution people, don't look at Dorsey, don't look at Veach. It was Andy Reid. Make no mistake about it. If there was a quarterback being taken by the Kansas City Chiefs, there was one man who was in charge of picking the quarterback, and that one man is known as Andy Reid. So we can talk about Veach and Dorsey and all this ad nauseum, because that's the big debate. It's not a debate. It was Andy Reid.
Sure. Yeah, no, and that is 100% true. But to go back to your point about being so successful at mid-round cornerbacks, that's what's been key to this dynasty sustaining success, is being able to keep those
100%.
draft picks.
Or getting a Mike Dannon in the 5th, right?
Right.
Mike Dannon is a guy that's been a serviceable guy, not a star, but a serviceable guy with the Chiefs out of Central Michigan. He was at Michigan, then he went to Central Michigan.
Mm-hmm.
Here's a guy didn't even go to the Combine. Mike Dannon was not even invited to the Combine. But Veach liked him anyway from scouting that he went ahead and drafted him. And I'll say this much, too. Veach wasn't the GM at the time, but Kareem Hunt, when he was taken out of Toledo, Veach did a lot of the scouting on Kareem Hunt. And that was a guy that really came to the attention because of Brett Veach and his scouting, bringing in Kareem Hunt back when he was a draft pick. But, again, you get these guys in the mid-rounds, and they go much higher. I always use the Trey Smith story because it was during COVID. Remember, they did the Zoom calls? And he had the Chiefs draft hat on. Like, you don't see 6th-round picks with the draft hat on very often, which means usually 1st and 2nd-round picks get the draft hat.
Mm-hmm.
But we didn't know where Trey Smith was going to go. He's clearly 1st and 2nd-round talent, but he ends up sliding because of the injury. Key in Rick Burkholder, key in the Chiefs training staff that said, no, this guy's going to be fine with our system. It's a guy that relaxed, took some time off at Tennessee during the week, but then played. But they're like, no, we'll get him here with our medicine and things will be better for Trey Smith. And look what happened. They have the highest paid guard now because they took a flyer on getting a guy out of Tennessee in the 6th round named Trey Smith that's been a stud. I can basically say the same thing about Simmons. Simmons was the guy that came on one of your top 30 visits. So he was here. Obviously, the training staff looked at him, and they gave the green light to go ahead and draft him. When other teams were scared of him, so I carded, again, the Chiefs. So it's the front office. It's Rick Burkholder. It's trickling down to the coaches that help select said players that'll fit in their system, and you draft for the system they have, and they've done very well. So whenever I hear this stuff where this draft pick didn't work out, this one did, listen, there's not a GM in football that doesn't lose draft picks. So I don't want to hear that. We put Veach sometimes under the microscope of what works and what didn't, like a Sky Moore didn't work. Okay, that happens. But you know what? Going into this year, the last 4 years through the draft, the Chiefs are number 2. Barely number 2 at 78% of their draft picks still being on the roster. The only team better than them, and it's by a very small percentage point, is the Bengals. But look, there's no rings with the Bengals. There's rings with the Chiefs. So we can talk about the Bengals, you can talk about the Titans, you can talk about all this, but the teams that's actually drafting and playing their players is the Chiefs to sit number 2 out of 32. Matter of fact, going into last year, the Chiefs still had 21 of the previous 22 guys either on the roster or the practice squad that they had drafted. That is unheard of in the NFL. Yeah, you do make mistakes. Sky Moore, that was a mistake. I mean, clearly played a lot better in college than he did in the pros. So you do make mistakes at times, but then you got to get it right. So then what the Chiefs do, they go to the drawing board and they get Rashee Rice the next year. And all he did was number 2 in yards and receptions for rookie receivers. So they hit on Rashee Rice. Now it's a guy that's probably going to demand and deserve a new contract extension with the Chiefs because that has clearly become Mahomes' dude.
Sure.
And make no mistake about it, I would expect to see some Rashee Rice runs this week. I mean, you already heard Mitch when he was on with Dusty and Bob, talking Debo Light and stuff like that with Debo Samuel Light with him. Mm-hmm. He lined up in 8 different positions against the Bills. It's clearly that connection with Mahomes. You've seen it before. Heck, Mahomes credited that second touchdown he had in his first return game when he came back to that back shoulder, things they worked on at Camp Patton, Texas. Building that chemistry, understanding where the route is and where to, turn off of it. Noah Gray sometimes runs that route, but he'll run it to perfection, run right into a safety. Mahomes expects different, and they'll plant the ball somewhere else. Like, hey, you should have broke off your route, like Kelsey does, like Rice does. It's that inherent connection you have. And when you talk about Andy Reid in the trade deadline, in the familiarity with former players, which is big with this team, almost too big, but it's very big with this team, is there is a learning curve that happens. You can't just get somebody. It can't be just bring in Breece Hall and say, go. Here's 30 carries, go. They have to understand the system. And as Ross Tucker, I was filling in with Cody and Gold, he made a great point because this guy played a long career in the NFL, and he was obviously moved around the trade deadline at times. But you got to understand what the quarterback wants as well. Like, you might get traded to a team, so it's not only understanding the playbook, but what the quarterback wants you to do as well. That's why I bring up Mahomes demands certain things out of his players at times. So it's always difficult. And, of course, it's difficult with Spags coming in with this defense. I mean, you got to be a Terrell Suggs type guy that understands everything about the NFL, a guy that's going to the Hall of Fame, to understand the system. Yeah. That's why there's very few people, like a Calais Campbell, I think at 39 years old, could come in and understand the system. They could come in. Yeah, but it's tough because that's Christian Fulton, how tough it is to crack the Chiefs roster. They got him in free agency, and he can't sniff it. I mean, it happened. It's very, very difficult to understand what Andy Reid wants. Anyway, we didn't talk about the value of quarterbacks in coaching in the NFL. We'll do that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Hellsberg gifts checked off the list. Now, time for wrapping. Earrings for Mom. A gold bracelet to match the rings Danielle wears every day. And for Dad, a new watch, because we all know he needs one. All right, this is going to be a good one.
Our favorite things for your favorite people. Shop in store at Hellsberg.com for up to 50% off.
250 years ago, a promise was made to connect families and friends, near and far. And during the holidays, that promise is more important than ever. That's why USPS is building a better network to meet your needs, with timely deliveries, easy and affordable ways to ship, and everything you need to make your season full of holiday cheer. Our purpose is delivering your peace of mind, knowing your love will arrive, bringing joy to all. The United States Postal Service. Learn more at USPS.com/holidays.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need Downy Rinse tonight, and I need it more. My kid was the bed and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do, I'm always in the dark. The sweat and dead short smells like a dog park. I'm Downy Rinsing tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
Hey y'all, it's the Rocket Roger Clemens here. Spent a lot of time pitching heat,
Years later, the pain in my joints remind me of those days, but I'm not looking to sit still, and I definitely am not interested in going under the knife. That's why I chose QC Kinetics.
Not just for elite retired athletes. QC Kinetics gives everyday folks joint pain relief using regenerative treatments that work with your body to help repair joint damage.
No surgery, no long recovery, whether it's your knees, hips, shoulders, or back. My friends at QC Kinetics will help you get moving again so you can get back to doing the things you love.
QC Kinetics medical professionals will look at your x-rays or MRI to determine if you're a good candidate.
I trusted QC Kinetics to help me feel like myself again, and I'm proud to recommend them to you.
Call QC Kinetics today and schedule your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. 816-412-6299.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need Downy rinse tonight, and I need it more. My king was the bed and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do, I'm always in the dark. The sweating dead short smells like a dog park. I'm Downy rinsing tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Check engine or ABS light on? Take the guesswork out of your warning lights with O'Reilly Veriscan. It's free. Ask for O'Reilly Veriscan.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
This is 96.5 The Fan, your home for Chiefs football. It's the only place to hear from Andy Reid on Mondays at noon. It's the only place that has an exclusive one-on-one interview with Patrick Mahomes on Tuesdays at 3:15. And it's the only place to listen to the play-by-play with Mitch, Danon, and Kling on game day.
Touchdown! Kansas City! Travis Kelce owning this game!
This is your home for Chiefs football. This is 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back after hours. Jay Binkley, James Howell producing the operation. Hopefully you made that turnaround. You turn that car around when you're going out for dinner reservation. Sorry, ladies, but you know the guys have to go back and watch some football on ESPN since the YouTube deal has been fixed now. Don't need to go around. You can sit at home and watch football. So, you know, sorry about the dinner reservations being canceled, but it's football time of year. We got football tonight. We got high school football going on both sides of the state line. We got football tomorrow. We got football Sunday. You can listen right here at 96.5 The Fan with K-State football and for Kansas City Chiefs football. This is good stuff, James. This is good stuff. We have winter meetings going on here in a couple weeks. In Major League Baseball, you had the award ceremony last night, MLB Awards. Bobby Witt Jr. wins yet again. He's first team All-MLB, which is something they started back in 2019. Regardless of league, he's first team All-MLB. He's won 2 Silver Sluggers. He was the hits king for the last 2 years in Major League Baseball, finished 4th in the MVP race, and he won a Platinum Glove as the best all-around defensive player. I think things are pretty good with Bobby Witt Jr. at this point. Belichick put out a statement tonight. I don't know if you saw this. Adam Schefter retweeted it. He says it was a statement that North Carolina put out. Bill, because there was talk about him maybe going back to the Giants or whatever. That would have been a mistake. I mean, that ship has sailed. It says, Belichick has not and will not pursue any NFL head coaching vacancies. Quote, I have great respect and genuinely care for the New York Giants organizations and the Mara and Tisch families. The New York Giants played an important role in my life. And then he talks about the commitment to North Carolina, college football, and then he says on to Wake Forest, which is funny because they play Wake Forest. And he made the on the Cincinnati comments in Kansas City after the Chiefs kicked their ass, 41-14 back in 2014. That was the on the Cincinnati game. And it was the Peyton Manning, or not Peyton Manning, but Tom Brady's washed. That was the nationally what they were saying that he's done. And Tom Brady went on to win the Super Bowl that year. He ended up going to 5 after the night they said he was done and winning 4 of them. So don't ever listen to people say a certain player's done. They're not done. And I will say this, too. Peyton Manning, it took 6 years to win his first playoff game. Year 6, he won it. He didn't win a Super Bowl till year 9. Mahomes has done it much, much easier. It's been much, much smoother, much, much easier. But as far as Belichick going back to pro football, at some point, just enjoy your money, man. Just enjoy your time. Hey, just enjoy. Nick Saban, everybody's talking about all these 12 vacancies in college football. Can Nick come back and the money he could make? Because he'd make a crap load of money. We all know that. But somebody said something the other day on Twitter, and I noticed the same thing. It was the picture of Saban's birthday, and they brought a birthday cake his kids did to him. He's sitting on a recliner watching football, and he had a blanket on, right? And they go over to Nick Saban, give him this birthday cake, and I'm like, he's already crossed that threshold now. He's sitting on a recliner with a blanket, man. He ain't coaching. He likes this deal. He can go out do college game day, the biggest show in college football, go do that, be Nick Saban. He has that office still at Alabama. Get your birthday cake delivered with your blanket on your recliner, man. Just enjoy life, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, maybe even take a page out of Alvin Kamara's book. Go get a martini.
Martini on the beach.
Yeah, on the beach.
Or pina colada, whatever it was. But sometimes football passes you by. Debo's finding out now he needs to reset himself his career, and it happens sometimes, man. It happens with coaches. Pete Carroll had this happen when he failed in the NFL. And then he took a job at USC, and nobody wanted it. This is when Paul Hackett was fired, and Pete Carroll comes in. And I read his book. It was great. But Pete brought all the team out. He brought them to the 50 and said, are you in or you out? And this is before the transfer portal and all this. Said, you in or out? He'll release them from their scholarships or whatever because coaches did that at that point. It wasn't just hitting the transfer portal. Said, I want to know, are you in or out? Come to the circle in the 50, you in or out? He wrote a book about that. And what did he do? He won 2 national titles, won a Super Bowl after that. Damn near won another one if Russell Wilson didn't throw a stupid interception to the New England Patriots at the one, which, by the way, gave Tom Brady yet another ring. So there was a lot of crap that Seattle could have really rectified by scoring that touchdown.
They literally gifted Tom Brady another ring.
He got gifted. People don't want to bring that up, though. They don't want to talk about Brady being gifted that ring, which clearly he did in that interception at the 1-yard line. But they've moved on, and they finally found the right guy. Like Mike Vrabel, the former Chief, former Patriot, obviously. Titans coach, he did a good job at Tennessee. He never got the support, I don't think, from ownership to carry forward. And look at what a joke that is now in Tennessee. It's so bad they picked first in the clock last year. They got 2 quarterback problems now because they still got Will Levis to deal with, who's been hurt all year. And now they got Cam Ward, the number 1 overall pick, to deal with. And they fired their coach. And then Vrabel goes down there with New England and destroys them. And covered, like a huge spread, and covered it. But Vrabel, last night on Thursday Night Football, he took care of business. This is what happens with a good coach, man. I know these teams are looking for the right guy, and it's tough because, a defensive player, defensive-minded player. And, screw you, Cleveland. He was on your staff last year, remember? He was development for that defense, and they decided to let him go, too. They should have got rid of Stefanski and brought in Mike Vrabel. Players love him. But it just shows you what a coach can do. And we all look for that perfect mixture, right? And I know the Reed-Mahomes combination, people are looking for that coach-quarterback combination that Reed's done so well with Patrick Mahomes. We're on the same page in there. It goes back to like Bill Walsh back in the day with Montana and what he would do. Like, I've read Bill Walsh's books. He'd be at the dinner. He'd write a play down on a napkin at dinner with his wife. He'd just write down, and he'd call Joe. You heard the stories of Mahomes getting calls at 4 a.m. from Andy Reid. Yeah. I mean, it's that coach-quarterback combination. People are looking for it. But here's the bottom line. I know everybody wants that offensive coach to go with that guy, and certainly it would play out with the Chargers because they've gone defense with Brandon Staley. They've gone that direction. They finally went offense with Harbaugh, with Herbert, because he's gone through, 3 head coaches, and he's a good quarterback. Trevor Lawrence kind of been dealing with the same thing. You find that offensive guy, but it's funny. But you go back, and all these first-round overall picks, the coaches are being fired the first year. Happened in Chicago, happened in Carolina. It happened here with Tennessee. Everybody's looking for that perfect mixture. And, Mahomes has ruined it for everybody because he's been so good with Andy Reid, but it was the perfect storm.
Yeah, but
Alex Smith took his ego, checked it in. Hey, let's let this guy sit behind me that he's going to be the starter. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But everybody's looking for the mixture, and there's no perfect rhyme or reason, James. That's the thing. It's like, should it be an offensive guy with that quarterback? We'd think that'd be the right direction. But I'll say this, and we know the NFL does this. If you have an offensive-minded head coach, you're going defensive-minded the next. It's kind of what they do. They go the opposite of what they have. But honestly, when you look at great teams in the quarterback coach combination, it's not always offensive mind with that quarterback. Exhibit A, Seattle Seahawks. Mike McDonald's a former Ravens defensive coordinator. It's working out with Sam Darnold. Mike Vrabel's working out with Drake May. Mike Vrabel, defensive-minded guy. Sean McDermott works well with Josh Allen. Sean McDermott's history is defense. John Harbaugh was a special teams coach for Andy Reid, and he's coached on the defensive side as well. That's worked with Lamar Jackson. So basically, it's not rhyme or reason. It's fit. It is fit, player fit. And when I think of player fit, I think of what some of the managers they've had in Kansas City are coaches. Like Ned Yost. Ned Yost is one of the most old school guys you've seen. But the players loved him because he let them be themselves. Like he let them show their personality, and they did. But yet he's still old school, but he still got along with the new school so well. That's a very unique combination Ned Yost had. Andy Reid's got the same thing. As funny as, the Skechers commercial, State Farm and all this, the lovable Andy Reid, the cheeseburgers and all this crap, dude's a pretty good disciplinarian too. They're afraid of him. And you don't want to be in his doghouse.
Well, I think it's respect.
It's respect for him because they even said that right away when he took over as coach in 2013. They had respect for him. But he lets the players do what they want, and he always listens to them. It's like these trick plays, these the ring around the rosy play and Rose Bowl right and things that Bieniemy did, which is fine, but the players do this too. And they do the trick plays, and we love the trick plays when they do them. And even Mahomes is asked back in the Carolina game a couple years ago if the quarterback could go in motion. So they asked Bieniemy that, and they work on that with Kelsey and Tyreek Hill when he was here and Mahomes, and they create plays. And then they get permission from the offensive coordinator with Nagy now and then Andy Reid. Hey, can we run this? It gives the players some autonomy to do what they want, which works out. But it works out because Andy Reid is not just a lovable cheeseburger guy. I mean, he is, but he's got that other side of him that'll crack your ass.
Yeah.
And you don't want to be in the doghouse.
And we've seen that on the sidelines with him and Travis Kelce kind of getting
He'll get in your face.
Yeah, he's not afraid to get up in their face and let them know.
Lovable guy with the mustache and all this. Yeah. He's a disciplinarian too because they respect him.
Absolutely.
And he brings a lot of respect with him. It's why he wins. It's why he's number 2 all time in postseason wins and will pass Bill Belichick. He's only 3 behind him, so he'll pass him in postseason wins. He's that good. But they respect who and what he is as a man and as a coach, and they respect that, and I do too. But Vrabel is working out in New England because they buy into what he's doing. Put it this way. They went 4-13 last season, right? This is from NFL.com. So they dumped Gerard Mayo after 1 year so they could hire Vrabel. Smart move. With the win over the Jets last night, Vrabel became just the 3rd coach since the AFL-NFL merger in 1970 to take over a team that won 5 games or less the previous season and led them on a winning streak of at least 8 games in his first year. That's what happens. And then you see what happens when you get the right quarterback, like Drake May. And we'll see what happens. Now, he's had it before. He took his lumps before. Now he's playing well. We'll see if he can continue it because we've had these questions that do arise with quarterbacks that have great years. What can they back it up? Right? You're a Show Me State guy too, right, James? You live in Missouri?
Yes, sir.
Show Me State, right?
Yes, sir.
Show me what you do. CJ Stroud, even though he's won playoff games, he hasn't been as good as his rookie year. He's taken a step back. Bo Nix has certainly not been as good as his first year. So I get it. You got to back it up and show you can do it again. And then you get into the club. Then you're Lamar Jackson. Then you're Joe Burrow. Then you're Patrick Mahomes. Then you're Josh Allen. Because what happens is the quarterback stays the same and all the other parts move around him. You saw this with Big Ben. All those parts move around him. You certainly saw with Tom Brady, who won Super Bowls with Troy Brown and Deion Branch. He didn't end up winning with Randy Moss and Wes Welker, but he showed how he could win with different players. But the quarterback stayed the same. Patrick Mahomes has stayed the same. The rest of this team has been rebuilt. The only players that predated Mahomes, James Winchester, the long snapper. Harrison Butker came the same year as Mahomes, but he actually played in 17 while Mahomes was redshirting, but they came the same year. And then Travis Kelce predated, and Chris Jones predated Mahomes. But the rest of the 53, all different dudes, the quarterback stayed the same. This is what teams want. But Drake May is certainly playing like a guy that you want to believe in. I believe in him a lot more than Daniel Jones. Even though Daniel Jones played longer, I believe in more than Drake May. Because he's got a great head coach that listens to him and goes out there and finds a way to win.
Precisely. I mean, I love Mike Vrabel. I love the way he coaches. He reminds me of Dan Campbell. He's very physical, very hard-nosed type of coach, and is a disciplinarian. And I believe in Drake May way more than I would ever believe in Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones is just too inconsistent for me. It's what kind of version of Daniel Jones are we going to get this week? And
that's fair.
And that is a problem in the NFL. It reminds me of Derek Carr.
Well, that's fair. And I've always said it with the Colts. Like, I do believe in the direction they're going, and you only play who's in front of you. But I'll say this. So Daniel has wins over the Cardinals. He's got a win over the Dolphins before they beat Buffalo when they were really, really bad. He's beaten the Titans twice, and he's beaten the Raiders. The good win he has against the Chargers when they didn't have their offensive line, and he was able to beat them. Then all comes back. It becomes a different offense. They destroy the Vikings. He gets hurt again in Tennessee. Now we'll see what happens with them. The Colts, I'm waiting until next week. I'm waiting to see that game against the Chiefs. I think that's ultimately important. They're on the road, playing in Kansas City, see if they can use that noon kickoff as motivation. But what do they do in Kansas City? That's why it's a big question mark to me. Am I bought in yet or not? I can't buy in yet until I see what they do against the Chiefs. Now, if they come in and beat the Chiefs in convincing fashion, hats off to them. But if they get destroyed, Johnny come lately.
Yeah, you're not wrong there. And the Colts haven't had a real impressive resume. Like, who have they beaten that's been real good?
Well, again, last place schedule, see what happens when it flips around. You have first place. And by first place, I mean the extraneous teams you play. Everybody plays the same divisions, AFC and NFC, except for your one game, your 17th game, where you play that division from the NFC from 2 years ago, but it's where they finished. And if you're playing a crap team, you get a break. Some teams got that as the Panthers last year. And the Chiefs had to play a first-place game against the team that finished the NFC. It's different, and where you play them is also different. So, but again, Daniel Jones, everybody loves him. Kyle Brandt leaves New York, flies to Indy for an interview. Everybody's loving up Daniel Jones. But I will say this, he has 7 turnovers the previous 2 weeks. Is that great? No, it's not. Coming up next, though, 913-586-7965. Chiefs, Broncos, backs against the wall. We talk about it more next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Need to sell your house in Kansas City but not sure where to start? Selling a home can feel overwhelming, especially if you're facing foreclosure, a divorce, an inherited property you don't want, or just need to move quickly. But you don't have to figure it out alone. Rex Buys KC is here to help. As a local home buyer, I understand the Kansas City market inside and out. My family and I live right here, so I know the neighborhoods, the trends, and the challenges homeowners face. That's why I take a consultative approach, helping you explore your options and find the best path forward. We buy houses in any condition, no need for repairs, no agent commissions, and no hidden fees. You'll receive a fair cash offer with a closing timeline that works for you. Whether that's in as little as 7 days or at your own pace, just a simple, hassle-free process designed around your needs. If you're ready to talk through your options, call me today at 816-330-6000 or visit rexbuyskc.com. Let's find the right solution for you. Rex Buys KC. Local, fair, and focused on you.
Distracted driving is dangerous and contributes to 8% of traffic fatalities and over 3,500 lives lost each year in Missouri. The Siddons-Benning Hands-Free Law prohibits the use of electronic devices while operating a vehicle. So put the phone away or give it to a passenger and stay focused on getting to your destination safely. Drive safe, drive smart, drive hands-free. This ad is brought to you by Missouri Partners in Prevention, paid for with federal highway safety funding from the Missouri Department of Transportation.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. breathe. Use as directed.
Makita's built for the pros who show up early, who don't do shortcuts, only precise cuts. With tools built to last, job after job, year after year. Performance that pays off, because when the job calls for the best, you answer. And when you need the best, you call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
You've got a big day, so you use Unstoppable Scent Boosters to give your laundry non-stop freshness. So no matter how long the day goes, you
Can't stop this power, this walk, this pose, this strut, this look, this talk.
your clothes will be so fresh you can confidently strut into that end of the day meeting like a
Boss, 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 bosses. Let's talk business in my office.
Add new Unstoppables beads to your wash for 24-hour non-stop freshness so you can smell unstoppable.
And welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, James Howell producing the operation. Someone says they're currently in the bathroom blaming an issue so they don't have to watch a movie with their wife and they're listening to the show and drinking a beer. I appreciate the hustle. I appreciate the creativity. I think we like those people quite well, James. Our kind of people.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I love the fact that you are that locked in and that committed that you had to come up with a situation and you locked yourself in, tapped into a beer.
913
That's
says,
amazing.
Bink, link to the notification. After Hours is on YouTube. My mom picked up our kids for the night, and my wife thinks we're going to watch a show that I hate. Currently in the bathroom, blaming diarrhea that I can't come, but secretly just watching your show with the beer. And no one's going to question that, bro. That's a pretty good excuse.
That is, I mean, how do you even question that? Like,
You
what do
can't.
mean?
You can't
Yeah.
question it.
Yeah, that's solid.
We're going to say, hey, come here and check it out. No.
I think I used to have a couple coworkers that used that excuse.
Oh, I'm sure they didn't. So it's a good excuse you can't prove. And, yeah, but see, anyway, he's cracking a beer, watching the show. He didn't want to watch that movie that he hates. But I think this time of year, I think a lot of times we do have to watch movies and stuff you don't like. It's okay to say you don't like it. It's okay to say you hate it. It's okay. You can say those things, James. Or I don't know if you can or not. You're a happily married guy, so I don't know if you can say it. Or do you have to watch a stupid movie you don't like?
Well,
I know not during football, huh?
No. But if it's for the kids, there's some movies that, I'm not a big fan of Christmas movies. We do the Christmas thing during Christmas time. So I do make some sacrifices, but you're not going to catch me watching like 50 First Dates or some chick flick or something like that. I'll be like, no, I'm not watching that.
Oh, James. By the way, Chris Bell that I talked about, that receiver, Louisville's up on Clemson now, 9-3. Chris Bell, 2 catches, 52 yards for the receiver that I really, really like.
Okay.
But I don't know if he's going to be around by the time they start going. Because you always got to replace receivers. Because you got to think, Hollywood Brown, he was going to be here 1 year, remember? It was going to be a 1-year deal.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gets hurt all year, basically. And then you knew he's coming back at that point. There's a good chance he'll come back for another 1-year deal. But he's getting that age threshold where that big money may not come at any point. So he's probably going to be gone, you'd have to think. But the Chiefs should always look to replenish wide receivers, I feel, in the draft. I know they do with Jalen Royals, but he hadn't got on the field yet. But I'm always for giving number 15 the weapons he wants, man.
Yeah,
That's where you should be.
100%.
I know they did with the offensive line, bringing in Simmons and that's great because he needs protection to be the quarterback he can be. But it's nice for him to be able to turn the ball or step back, hand the ball off to a running back. And I know there's the deal because the Chiefs are in the bottom 5 for under center, but it's working how they're doing it. It's working, being in the shotgun because this has worked for the Chiefs. But you got to have trust in your line, and you got to trust your running game to do it. And you also don't want to be predictable. You don't want to get under center and then turn around because I'm sure running backs prefer for the quarterback under center than a quick start-stop from the shotgun. I'm sure it's a lot easier to do things. But You can't just line up under center and just run it, because we talk about like Xavier Worthy and the tell he had against Buffalo, so to speak, with Hairston, which I don't put any stock into. I'm very surprised they would admit to knowing a tell, because there's tells in everything. There's tells in everything.
Say. Yeah, the absolute bonehead thing to say from that guy. Like, if me and you are playing at a poker table, and I see that you get a little nervous tick whenever you have a big hand, I'm sure as hell
you're not going to tell me.
I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to use that to my advantage. I don't know why he would say something like that.
Take all your money. So you would take all my money, James.
Absolutely.
You wouldn't tell me my tell. You know what? This happens in baseball all the time. Baseball players don't talk about it. Like, they'll know what pitcher and what he's doing, and they'll talk about it amongst themselves, but they're not going to talk about it. Like, baseball is real secretive about that, and I get it. And, there's been tells in football all the time. As far as your hand placement, you go down on the ground, you get in your three-point stance, are you going to run the football? There's tells people pick up all the time, but you don't say what your tell is, because you know what the smart thing to do is? Do the opposite. So whatever tells he's doing, and that Hairston thinks he knows exactly where he's doing, if he's going vertical route, if the Chiefs are running, do the opposite.
Mm-hmm.
So, okay, I just go to the receiver, I'd go to Worthy, say, all right, whatever you're doing against the Bills, if you meet in the postseason, whatever you're doing for your tell, let's do the opposite. So if we're going to throw the ball, act like you were when we were going to run the ball. So do the exact opposite. Then all of a sudden, they don't know what the hell to think.
Yeah. I mean, just go out there, be nonchalant, and then take off. And if they're expecting the run, then we got them. It's simple as that.
When the Denver reporters for DNVR Sports for the Broncos said that Sean Payton wants the Broncos country to be loud. Broncos country, let's ride! Broncos country to be loud from the moment Patrick Mahomes is in the huddle. The crowd noise can, quote, benefit us. Yes, it can, Sean, but as I've been saying, you're also prone to booing. Your fan base likes to boo. And if the Chiefs get a quick lead on you, those boos will rain down. It's one thing the Chiefs can do, scoring on the Broncos early, get them to boo them to where they hate their own crowd.
Yeah, you're not going to like the crowd noise at that point.
Well, do we need to take a timeout? We're up against it, but we'll talk about this Denver game. We're going to be talking about this for the rest of the show, except we'll break away and talk a little college football going on in the games tomorrow. But mostly it's Denver, Kansas City, 913-586-7965.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, it's bigger game days and bolder fight nights. I mean, where else can you find a scratch kitchen that always comes in clutch every day from lunch to late night? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Lunch hour? Fuel up fast with lunch at the Lodge. Bite into our juicy cheeseburger and fries, fresh chicken Caesar salad, or turkey avocado smash with sweet potato fries. Hearty, quick, and made to satisfy. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Every now and then I rinse it out, and I need Downy rinse tonight, and I need it more. My kid was the bed and the smell never leaves. I don't know what to do. I'm always in the dark. The sweat and dead short smells like a dog park. I'm Downy rinsing tonight.
Downy Rinse fights stubborn odors in just one wash. When impossible odors get stuck in,
Rinse it out.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
I woke up this morning feeling like I was coming down with something. Cough, congestion, headache. My first thought was, nope, this can't happen. I have big plans this weekend. So I took Mucinex Kickstart. It provides all-in-one and done relief with a morning jolt of instant cooling sensation. Thanks to Mucinex Kickstart, I didn't even need to cancel my weekend plans. If you start feeling cough and congestion coming on, take Mucinex Kickstart for relief with a kick. At your favorite retailer. Use as directed.
oh no.
Ah, that's the sound of someone who's misplaced
My debit card.
their debit card.
Where'd I leave that thing?
Not at the gas pump, or the checkout counter, or the roof of your car. Now, if he has the Chase mobile app, he can use Card Lock.
Wait, I could just lock my card.
Yep, just a few tippy taps on his phone, and that sound? That's peace of mind from Chase.
Chase mobile app is available for select mobile devices. Message and data rates may apply. JP Morgan Chase Bank N.A. member FDIC.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth more.
I'm worth a lot more.
And I completely agree. That's why I'll pay more for your car at GiveMeTheVin.com. That's the name of our new campaign. I'm worth more. You are worth more, and your car's worth more. And that's why I will pay more. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 at GiveMeTheVin.com.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Oh no, stomach issues again?
Stomach issues?
Who are you?
Your pancreas. I could be the real reason for your diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose oily stools.
I thought it was my stomach.
People often do, but any of these symptoms could mean having a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and speak with your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, James Howell producing the operation. High school football, both sides of the state line. Got some second quarter scores rolling in, but we'll check on the accuracy of the scoreboard and see what direction we're going to go. But there is Louisville up 9-3 on Clemson at this point. Don't forget, number 8, the Oregon Ducks, playing against Minnesota coming up here at 8 o'clock. So we have college football on tonight, and we got college football tomorrow. I know somebody's excited on the text line that YouTube is back. They can watch College Game Day. That's just a staple. When you wake up, you watch College Game Day. At the college campus, it's great. They're in Pittsburgh this weekend for the Pittsburgh-Notre Dame game, one of 4 games between both teams being ranked this weekend. It still is available, though. I hate to ruin it, but it still is available. If you want to watch on your phone, it was available on X. It was also available on the ESPN app. It was available on ESPN.com. So they did make, not the games available, but College Game Day was available. It's something you wanted to see. James, when I see this stuff running in from Sean Payton, it's gonna be a long afternoon. Wait until 3:25. Like, it's going to be a long wait.
Yeah, I'm probably going to camp up here in Kansas someplace. Maybe watch the early games, get a couple bets in, maybe some live bets.
And for a short time, December 1st, you can start rolling where you're at.
Oh, man, I cannot wait.
You don't need to go to the Quick Trip Casino. 435 Casino.
Yeah, well, I don't know about that.
Well, you can do it from home.
Yeah, that'd be
Or here
fun.
at the station, you can do it. It's the beauty of Kansas.
Well, the thing is I like to do the live bets, so.
Well, December 1st, you can sit there and do the live bets.
Yeah, I'm excited for it.
Has this been a good year for you?
It's been okay, up and down. The anytime touchdown contest that we have going on, it's been a terrible year for me. I'm in dead last.
I've had a good year, except for a couple of weeks I went Rico Dowdle, and he didn't score. Then all of a sudden I didn't go with him, and he scores 2. I wanted to go Trey McBride this week because he does have 5 touchdowns in the last 4 games, and it's a very good matchup for him.
Sure.
But he's minus 115 now, so he's gone from the realm of plus 170, plus 160. He's minus 115 now.
Not as
I
profitable.
thought about Brian Robinson Jr.
Okay.
He's getting more and more carries with the Niners because they're kind of resting McCaffrey a little bit, right?
Sure.
He's had a touchdown in the last 2 games, but he's plus 550 for any time touchdown. He's been in the end zone twice the last 2 weeks.
Okay, I like that.
So that was lucrative, but McCaffrey or McConkey, he got me a touchdown last week. They're playing the Jags secondary. No Travis Hunter. They've given up 21 receiving touchdowns this year. So the Chargers against Jacksonville, McConkey's like a plus 160 at this point. He is on the injury report. but we'll see what happens.
Sound logic.
But it sounds like he's going to play.
I went with Taylor last week, Jonathan Taylor, because like I said, I'm in dead last, so I had to get back on track. He hits. That's plus, I don't know, like 100. This week, I'm going Wan'Dale Robinson for my anytime touchdown.
What was he?
Plus 180.
Oh, that's a good one.
And I think, with Jameis Winston taking over the reins out there, he's going to go out there and just sling the rock everywhere. And so I really think that Wan'Dale Robinson might be a recipient of one of those touchdown passes.
I was a little bit concerned about Ladd. He was a limited. Today was full. No game get designation, so he's playing.
Okay.
And I hate to do this, but again, who are you going for in that game? Do you feel confident the Chargers are going to fall off? Do you need them to get Jacksonville out of the way? Because it's kind of a damned if you do, damned if you don't game.
Right.
I think the Chargers honestly would be more viable down the stretch than Jacksonville, but Jacksonville's got a pretty favorable schedule, so we'll go ahead and take those L's. It sucks that the Raiders didn't beat Jacksonville in overtime a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, no, I think I would rather the Chargers win this game against Jacksonville because we still have a game against the Chargers later on in the season. So if we need to, we can make up ground. We can pull ahead of them.
They also still have to go play in Denver.
That's true.
The Chargers did beat the Broncos in L.A. It was part of that first 3 games where the Chargers had 3 division opponents and won all of them.
Yeah.
They were sitting pretty after 3 weeks.
Yeah,
and then their line gets hurt. Then all gets hurt. Rashawn Slater, of course, got hurt in camp. He's gone for the year. The left tackle, Joe Alt, slides over to the left. He's now hurt. His second high ankle sprain he's got, so now he's gone for the year after what happened in Tennessee. Pipkins was banged up. He's back and playing. So we'll see what direction they go. But you got to have that line, man. You got to have that offensive line. And that's really hurting the Chargers going forward, is that offensive line. All right, we'll take a break. We come back. By the way, the phone line's ready for you talking Chiefs in Denver. If you want, 913-586-7965, same as Jay Southland Toast Service text line, 913-586-7965. But what this game means and the next game, because really just 2 games for the Chiefs really to start breathing easy. It all starts Sunday.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
Hey, can you blow up some balloons for Jack's party?
I can't. I'm so congested.
You need Sinex Severe from Vicks.
Sinex Severe nasal spray.
Yeah, just Sinex. Breathe.
Sinex Severe instantly relieves nasal congestion and works 6 times faster than nasal decongestant tablets. The 12 hours of relief allow you to get back to the moments that matter without congestion.
Daddy, we need more balloons.
On it! Try Sinex Severe from Vicks. Just Sinex. Breathe. Use as directed.
Hi, I'm Dylan, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. As a customer service specialist, I love helping couples find their dream engagement ring. And guess what? I just got engaged, so it was fun to create one myself. First, my fiance tried on a bunch of ring styles and she was drawn to a classic diamond pave setting. Then we looked at different diamond shapes from pear to oval to cushion. She fell in love with the princess cut. At Shane Company, you can create a one-of-a-kind ring and get it in days, not weeks. Because a friend wants you to have a magical holiday proposal. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
In today's market, you need an agent you can trust to secure the best deal tailored to your unique situation, not a generic approach. Dawn Sharp is that agent. That's the advantage of working with the Sharp Homes team. They can give you so many different options. If you want to skip the showings and open houses and go straight to sold, ask them about their instant offer program. If you're looking to buy or sell, contact the only agent I would trust if I needed to sell my home. It's Dawn Sharp with the Sharp Homes team, brokered by Epic Realty. Find out more. Google Sharp Homes team.
Yellowstone. The epic ranching drama is now a Kansas Lottery scratch ticket and your ticket to experiences you can't get anywhere else. Top prize of $25,000 plus second chance drawings that let you live the show. Attend a premiere or visit the set, but know what you're getting into. Just kidding. This is a game, not the show. Play Yellowstone. CKSLottery.com for details.
Man, if your stream isn't as strong as it used to be, or you're taking more breaks to the bathroom than the last 2 minutes of a televised football game,
There's another timeout. We'll be back after this.
it's time to get checked. An enlarged prostate, or BPH, could be the cause. And Kansas City Urology Care is here to help. Fast answers, trusted care. Don't wait. Come see Kansas City's largest, most experienced, and most advanced urology team. Visit kcuc.com today. At KCUC, you see the best in KC.
Does this sound like you? Every step of reach is a reminder of what hurts, a reminder of what you can't do. But I've got good news for you. Relief is closer than you think, and it doesn't have to come from a scalpel. What if it could come from you? At QC Kinetics, we tap into your body's own regenerative power using natural healing factors that help restore and repair damaged tissue, reduce inflammation, and relieve the pain at its source. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. Just your body remembering how to feel alive again. And this Veterans Day, QC Kinetics is giving back to our heroes. Veterans will get $500 off their treatment, and for every non-veteran who starts care, QC Kinetics will donate $500 to the Wounded Warrior Project. So now's the perfect time to book your free consultation with Saturday appointments to fit your schedule. Call QC Kinetics today, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, QC Kinetics.
This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan, KFNC FM and AM HD1 and HD2 Kansas City, in Odyssey Sports Station.
Welcome back. 8 o'clock hour. After hours, Jay Binkley, James Howell producing the operation. Hope you had a good time out in the city tonight. Whether you turned around and went straight home once you figured the YouTube deal was, or unless you've already switched from YouTube to another carrier at this point. I don't know. But we had a text line question asking us if we knew the score for Adrian, the Adrian Class 1 high school football score. And if you have questions about that, I will address it because it is a big game or a big night in Kansas City on both sides of the state line. But Adrian's playing Windsor. The update I had from the west side, I had 22-20 Adrian in the second quarter. This for the district championship state quarterfinals next week for Class 1. But you saw a more recent update on their Facebook page, James.
Yeah, absolutely. I went straight to their Facebook page, and they, as of 5 minutes ago, put a status out there that says, with 2 minutes left in the half, Adrian leads 28-20 now.
So there you go. There's your Adrian score update. Happy to do it as well with high school football in earnest last couple of days. James got youth football tomorrow, going for a Super Bowl title himself. So always kind of fun, whatever sports you're doing with your kids, or whether you like go out and watching it or watching college football, pro football, you name it. There's other big games this weekend besides the Chiefs and Broncos. Obviously, that's got our interest. Also right here on 96.5 The Fan, the weekend menu is now up. It's Kansas State football. The pregame starts at 9 a.m. right here, 96.5 The Fan. Then fantasy football with Mac Morey, 9 o'clock a.m. on Sunday. Then I'll have a couple hours there looking at the Chiefs and Broncos game from 10 to noon. Then, of course, pregame with Josh Briscoe and company starting at noon for the Kansas City Chiefs. You can hear the Kansas City Chiefs game with Mitch and Danon and Josh Klingler coming up. Well, starting at noon is the pregame, the game, the whole deal, post-game, everything. Stay here at 96.5 The Fan. And someone else on the text line, James, said they're driving to Denver now, and they want to know about a Chiefs bar in Denver. And I will say this, and keep in mind the Internet's been doing this for years. I once looked for it in South Florida for a Chiefs bar and found one. And it's one that the Finheads were going into from the Dolphins, so I knew it was a good one because the Dolphins, like they're crazy fans. They were there, and they actually had a really nice deal at the bar. All the areas for the games were cautioned off, so it had the whole menu of which games were in which section. Oh, okay. So you could sit there with Chiefs fans or whatever that were transplanted in Florida. They were playing the Bucs at the time, I think. So then the Buccaneers fans were there, so it made it a lot of fun in your little section. But you found a Chiefs bar for people in Denver.
Yeah, so I looked it up. I went and jumped on Reddit. Some community members on there, they said the best place to go in Denver is a place called Don's Tavern. So if you're going to Denver to watch this game, go out to Don's Tavern, meet up with some other Chiefs fans, and cheer on our boys. Deep in enemy territory.
I just Googled it. Don's Tavern. It said Chiefs fans in Mile High looking for a Kansas City Chiefs bar in Denver. You found it. Looks very inviting. Looks like a great place to go drink a few beers with fellow Chiefs fans and celebrate along. Now, is this the official one they have? Because I know these cities, like, you go there, there's certain bars around here that are Steelers bars, right? And they'll meet there every time. I actually found a Raiders one where all the Raiders fans meet every weekend. But usually there's there. And I remember we did a show at the other place. We were doing the Chiefs post-game when they played the Colts. Remember that game? They were up big and Andrew Luck came back. And it was a Vikings bar. So all the Vikings fans were in there. So they're going to be in there. Do you go to these places? Because I'll say there's one when the Bills come to town. I know they go to some place on the Power and Light as well, but they also go to Al's up in the Northland. And Bill's Mafia goes there. Their TV station does live hits from Al's because dude's from Buffalo, so it's Buffalo wings and everything else. Because he had a story and a write-up in the Buffalo newspaper, so they all go to Al's where the Bills fans hang out. But usually every city has one.
Yeah, no, I would love to go to a little hangout spot, a little bar, little pub, tavern, whatever it might be, in a different city. I don't go to other cities, but if I did, I would definitely go and hang out.
So I went to their website, donsclubtavern.com, and there's all these Chiefs fans. Pictures of all these Chiefs fans.
Yeah, it looks cool.
It says, looking for a Kansas City Chiefs bar in Denver? You found your home. Join your fellow Chiefs each game. We potluck, we drink, we cheer loud. It's open Sundays at 11 during football season. Obviously, the night before, you want to go have a few drinks before the game. This is where you go get your pregame on, I guess.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Go to a friendly place. Go to a fan-friendly place. And there's a Chiefs bar in Buffalo.
Okay.
Charlie's Black Rock, or whatever, but they close on game. Like if the Chiefs are playing the Bills, they have to close. And there's also a huge one in South Philly. The South Philly Chiefs bar.
Okay.
That even Spags has been to.
That's cool, though. I mean,
that's Charlie's, isn't it? Do you remember that?
I'm not sure.
But it's a big one. It's like it's been on their franchise. It's Big Charlie's in South Philly. But that's been a huge Chiefs bar forever. Spagnuolo's been there, behind the bar. I know the Chiefs, whenever, they happen to be visiting Philadelphia, or they'll go stop in the Big Charlie Saloon. Great Chiefs bar.
Yeah, I think it's awesome, man. We get to see Chiefs Kingdom literally expand right before our eyes, and it's been happening over the past decade, and it's almost to the point. I don't want to say too much hyperbole, but this is America's team. This is America's team now. They've taken over.
So what would you do if you're a bar owner, and let's say Patriot fans came in and said, you know what, James, we want to take over your place on game days. And we want to make this place a New England bar. What would you do? Or Denver. Let's say Denver. Let's go somewhere dirtier. Let's say Denver.
Man, that's rough.
What would you do? Would you take their money? Or would you say, you know what? I need Chiefs fans in here. I don't need all Denver Broncos fans here every weekend. But you got to look at money, too.
Yes.
Because you'd be happy to take Denver money.
Yes, because I was going to say, I would probably accept that deal with the mentality of, I have Denver fans paying my rent every single month. And I just pay my groceries paid by Denver fans. My entertainment is paid by Denver fans. So that would just be my mentality about it, and business is business.
Here's the text line from the 573 says Don's Club Tavern is awesome in Denver. So I think you found one of the best ones there, James.
There we go. I mean, Reddit is so awesome. You get to go talk to local people there, and they'll point you in the right direction.
I know there's certain websites that'll show you where certain fans of different NFL teams are meeting in certain areas. But I've always said this, and obviously I've never owned a bar, but I'd love to. I mean, who wouldn't? But anyway, if you're going to have game day celebrations, Wi-Fi is not as important as it was in the past with, people on their phones. But when data was limited and stuff, it is important to have good Wi-Fi because people get on there checking their fantasy teams and other scores and everything. So it is important if people are going to use that. But they don't always have to now at this point. And you got to have a special. You got to have drink specials, and they got to be good ones too. It can't just be, 50 cents off or whatever. It's got to be good ones. and food prices, like this football type food, like pretzels, nachos, those kind of things, because people have choices and they'll go somewhere else, man. And if you don't give them a reason to go to your establishment, because they'll spend money and they'll spend a lot of money, and chances are they'll probably go there when there's not even a game day. They'll still go back to your establishment because they feel at home there. They feel comfortable there, and they'll be regulars and they'll come back to your establishment.
And that's
Maybe
key.
another couple and, blow $200 at your establishment on game day, but you still make money. But you got to be willing to do the specials, or they're going to go other places. You got to cater to the football fans.
Yeah, that's the key. And you got to knock it out of the park on their first visit. You got to have those specials. Your food has to be piping hot. Your beer has to be ice cold, and everything. You got to make them feel welcome, like you were just saying. And that's how you get repeat customers. That's how
And here's the other key to a bar, like all good bars, sports bars. The bartender usually knows which games are on which channels, but more people need to know besides just somebody behind the bar. Because the whole wait staff or whatever, they need to know. If someone says, hey, I'd like to watch that Buccaneers game, can you put that on? Or can you put the golf on? Can you put the Masters on? When that's you need to know what sporting events are happening, so you're not always running back and asking the bartender. Maybe they're busy doing something else, and so you know what games. That's huge, though. It is huge to know what games are on. We say, hey, can I watch the Clemson game tonight? You're at the bar. Can you put Clemson on?
Yeah.
For us. Can you put that Clemson Louisville game on? At my table here with the TV at my table. Like, that is important to know instead of, let me go check and see if someone knows. No, you should know that.
Yeah.
Because football fans go for specific reasons. They'll go to watch football.
Yeah, because when we ask that question, the only answer that we want to hear is, yes, of course, let me go change that channel for you.
And to know it right away, man, it's huge. I mean, it's not asking a bunch.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
People will tip more. They'll be happier. They'll tip more. And they'll make it worth your while.
Yeah, no, I think they'll appreciate
just knowing
it.
what game to push on, they'll make it worth your while.
Yeah,
little things like that, James. We need a sports bar now.
Yeah,
and cater to the fans. But yeah, everybody should know which games are on and which channels, so you make it easier for them, for the football fans, so they keep coming back because that's what you want. I'm not going to tell you how to run your bar, but I'm just throwing some suggestions from sports fans, which you and I are, that go to establishments, and these are some of the things that you want. Food specials, drink specials, know what damn game's on.
Yeah, and not food like Reubens or,
nachos, pretzels, that kind of stuff.
Wings, maybe.
Fried pickles, you name it.
Yeah.
Buffalo wings.
Yeah, well, I'm not trying to have a Reuben
Preferably
sandwich.
wings or bone-in, but whatever.
Yeah, I like bone-in myself.
Yeah, but just football-type snacks.
Exactly.
But you got to know which games are on because they're coming there to watch football. And like I said, when I had my hiatus there, when I had my own problem with the cable company or streamer having their issues with ESPN and Disney, like what YouTube was going through, but thankfully that's been solved for them so they can go back to watching their games without, going out. And I'm sure the bars love them coming out and doing that stuff. But know which games are on and when, just in case people come in for certain games. I know I certainly did. I still do. I'll go down and watch a certain college game. Hey, put that Louisville game on. I mean, that's what I'd be doing tonight probably if I wasn't doing the show. So I'm a customer, just not someone, talking about it. I actually go to these places.
Yeah, this is what you hear when someone knows the lineup, huh?
Hallelujah. Crank it up, baby. It's that simple. Things are made too complicated sometimes. They can be really simple. Chiefs Broncos kind of reset the tail of the tape between the two teams coming up next. And what's really to worry about this Denver Broncos elite defense? Because it is. We talk about that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Bring tournament energy to the regular season with an NBA Cup Odds Boost token from BetMGM. The token is already waiting for you in your BetMGM account. So simply visit your promotions page and add an NBA Cup bet to your bet slip. Activate your token, and if your bet hits, you'll score extra winnings. BetMGM is the place to shoot your shot all season long. New this year, BetMGM has improved its app to include dark mode, a brand new rewards hub, and matchup and market market insights for your bets. Head over to your BetMGM account today and grab your NBA Cup odds boost token to score a bigger payout if you win. Make it a tournament to remember with BetMGM, authorized gaming partner of the NBA.
BetMGM and GameSense remind you to play responsibly. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. See BetMGM.com for terms. 21 plus only. Kansas only. Existing customer offer. Subject to eligibility requirements. Rewards vary and may expire in 1 to 7 days. Please gamble responsibly. In partnership with Kansas Crossing Casino and Hotel.
Hey, it's almost Andy Reid. Who knew dressing up for a Halloween ball would change my life forever? Now I get to celebrate with the best fans and everything Kansas City. Oh, yeah! My journey also led me to Renner Garage Door, Casey's go-to team for garage door repair, replacement, and service since 1956. Renner features an MVP lineup from Delden, Amar, and Liftmaster.
R-E-N-N-E-R, R-E-N-N-E-R.
Men, if the long lines to the bathroom have been holding you back from attending sporting events and you're waking up in the middle of the night dealing with frequent urination, it could be an enlarged prostate. Jeff Montgomery here to talk about the minimally invasive procedure I had that made a big difference. I went to Dr. Brown at Miva Medical, the leader in minimally invasive treatments in Kansas City. The procedure was quick and easy, and I'm very happy with the result. Don't put up with being uncomfortable. Contact Miva Medical. That's MIVA-medical.com.
96.5 The Fan is your exclusive home for Chiefs football, with pregame starting 3 hours before kickoff with Josh Briscoe. Then it's the call of the game with Mitch Holtis, Dayton Hughes, and Josh Klingler.
Caught! Touchdown! Kansas City! Travis Kelce owning this game!
Followed by postgame coverage featuring exclusive one-on-one interviews with Andy Reid and Chiefs players inside the locker room. This is your home for Chiefs football. 96.5 The Fan.
Welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, James Howell producing the operation. All right, we have another update on the score that people wanted for the district title.
Yeah, absolutely, Jay. On Facebook 2 minutes ago, straight from the Adrian Blackhawks football page, Blackhawks have scored again right before halftime and now lead 34-20 at the half.
Wow, 34-20. Now, I don't know if they took the kick to begin with. If they get the ball second half, you get a double dip, man. That's Chiefs like doing, so they keep deferring, get a double dip. And I'll say this, James. So we talk about this defense being so bad for Denver. Everybody likes talking about, how bad Denver's, offense is. And I know you can make the comparison with the Chiefs last year in Denver, and I think it is applicable because they find ways to win, which is only scary. So the 2025 Denver Broncos offense, 13th in total yards, 334.6 yards per game. You know what the Kansas City Chiefs were last season, 2024 Chiefs, when people make these comparisons. They were 17th in the NFL in total offense. So the Broncos have the advantage there. Pass offense, the Chiefs have the edge here, actually, because this year the Denver Broncos are 18th in the NFL in throwing the football, and the Denver Broncos their Chiefs were 18th, they're 22nd. Running offense, Denver's 9th. The Chiefs were 14th last year. Scoring offense, last year's Chiefs were 22.6 points per game. And the Denver Broncos this year, with that offense that they like to get booed, are actually averaging 23 points a game. So they average a point better than the Kansas City Chiefs did a season ago. But the Chiefs were led by what? Their defense last year, because their defense is doing such a great job. They were 4th in points against. Well, guess what Denver's led by this year? They're led by their defense as well. Total defense, they're 3rd. Passing defense, 6th. Run defense, they're 4th. Scoring defense, 3rd in the all-important points per drive. Talk about the Chiefs and how they're 2nd in points per drive on offense, scoring 2.83 points every time Mahomes is on the field. Their defense, number 2 in the NFL, only yielding 1.46 points per drive. Their offense, 22nd in the NFL. Chiefs much better than that. Offensive points per drive, of course, 2nd. And their defense, 7th in points per drive. So the Chiefs' defense still handling it well. But it's eerily similar between the 2024 Chiefs offense and the 2025 Broncos offense. The biggest difference, of course, is Mahomes, Bo Nix. That's okay. I get that. I will say this, though. Their pass rush is more elite than what the Chiefs was last year. So take it for a grain of salt. Take it. Does it mean anything or not? I'll let you decide. I will say this, though, as we brought up before. Bo Nix, we can laugh at him all we want, but he does have 18 straight games with at least one touchdown pass. He started 27 games in the NFL. Only 5 of those games he hadn't thrown a touchdown pass. But the 5th longest streak in the first 2 years of a quarterback belongs to Bo Nix. 18 straight games with a touchdown pass. Let's go to the phone lines real quick. Talk to Neil in Lone Jack. What's up, Neil?
Hey, Jay. How's it going, brother?
It's going, my man. Friday night, love it.
Gotta love Friday night, man. Kick it off, Donkey weekend. It's going to be a great, great weekend. I was excited. The games last weekend were actually good, finally. The last time I was sitting at home watching games on Sunday, they were terrible games. They were all boring games. This last weekend actually had some good games. And
this weekend's a little bit different, though. A little bit different in games. Obviously, 325, you're going to be occupied with the Chiefs. I'll say this, though. The Monday night game doesn't look very appealing because that is the Cowboys and the Raiders.
Yeah, but I'm looking forward to. I mean, if the Rams game is going to be on like another local channel, I might get 2 TVs going this weekend for sure.
Or hit the local sports bar, my friend.
I might. I'll check with some friends and see if they actually want to go out somewhere.
Sunday night's pretty good, though. It's Lions. Sunday night's Lions and Eagles, so that'll be a good one.
A lot of good games. I'm excited about it. I don't think it's realistic to have 0 sacks, so it'd be amazing. I was actually thinking about it right before you mentioned it earlier. I was saying that was going to be one of the first things I brought up when I called, but it's probably not realistic. I do think if we can hold their defensive line, and we give up maybe 1 or 2 sacks at the most, I think we're going to be in good shape there. I love the injury report. I'm excited that the only person, not practicing today is Isaiah. Obviously, I wish we had Isaiah, but love the fact that
Pacheco
going to be in there. That's great.
Yeah, Pacheco's ruled out.
Yeah, I haven't listened to Andy's press conference today. Did he mention anything about Elijah Mitchell?
He did not. He did not mention Mitchell or Clyde, which will be elevated, but one of the two will. We'll see. Obviously, Clyde was elevated because of familiarity with Buffalo and pass protection. We'll see what happens this week. It's very limited snaps that he would get anyway. You would hope it would get anyway. Clyde, got limited snaps as it was. But, yeah, Denver, 46 sacks on the season, 14 better than any other team. And don't forget about Zach Allen on the other side, who has 28 quarterback hits. Not sacks, but quarterback hits, so he gets there.
That's a scary defensive line. I have faith that I don't believe I'm not predicting Chris Jones to get a sack this weekend, but I do believe with all the talk and the week off, I think he's going to be a factor. I think we're going to see and notice him making an impact in this game, and I'm excited about that. And as long as our offensive line holds up, I do believe we'll get it done. I really do hope Brashard Smith gets a fair amount of carries this weekend, and they're able to get him involved in a screen game. I think he could have a big game this weekend. What do you think?
Yeah, I think the Chiefs will do the short passing game at first. They'll get really acclimated doing that. Xavier Worthy on some jet sweeps. I think you'll see Rashee Rice sometimes in the backfield as well. They'll utilize him in a bunch of different directions. Wildcat quarterback formation, you could see that. You saw that against Buffalo with him. And as far as Chris Jones, yeah. And he spoke today, and I'll play that in just a second, about, he's been double-teamed a lot this year, but the numbers are down. Matter of fact, he's got lower quarterback hits through 9 games this year. He's on pace for his lowest total since 2017 as far as quarterback hits. I'll say this, though. It's not an excuse. It's just reality. The Chiefs had played more games than anybody else because they go to the title game or go to the Super Bowl every year. They've actually played a full season longer than any other team because some of these guys have to keep playing through the postseason, which does start taking its toll at some times. But then guys have a nice bye week and come back well-rested. So hopefully that way is with Chris Jones.
I believe it will be. I'm looking forward to it, man. I can't wait. By the way, I still call Dusty the Dirty Lycan, the Dirty Werewolf. I'll never stop calling Dusty the Dirty Werewolf. I really don't understand for the life of me why he gave it up.
Well, that's old school, man. So you got that. It's fine. The text line, he was talking about Denver. Their text line didn't like him. They don't like me either. They won't have me back on in Denver. And Buffalo's kind of mad at me too. But regardless, our text line loves Dusty.
Yeah, well, until they step up and take it over, then they got to deal with being us being their daddy. That's all. They got to deal with it. Just like we dealt with it for all those years when Elway was in charge and Peyton was in charge, and now Patrick's in charge, and that's not changed yet. And God willing, this coming Sunday night, we'll all be saying, "Yep, things are just as they should be in this world."
Keep them down. Remember that nice little streak the Chiefs had, a 16 straight against the Broncos? That's humiliating, man. The fact the Chiefs beat them down like that. That is send your Christmas cards to one Arrowhead Drive type dominance.
The Donkeys.
That's right, Neil. Are you calling the game? You make a prediction for me? Or are you staying away from that?
I'll go 24. I'm going to 24-20.
All right. Chiefs, I take it.
Chiefs, for sure. Chiefs win. Yeah, no doubt.
All right, Neil.
And Carrington was talking earlier about 51-yard field goal with Harrison. Just like Chris Jones, I have faith in Harrison.
I'll say this. We talked about that third down defense, but or the fourth down defense being so good, number one in the NFL. But they are showing that aggressiveness this year as well. They've gone for it on fourth down 20 times, but an 80% clip. They only went for it last year on fourth down 17 times. 2023, they went 20 times, 12 times, and 2020, 16 times. You're looking at Mahomes, just his career. Go back to 2018, they went 15 times. The next year, 10 times. So they have not really gone for it on fourth down very much. It's been very limited. They've been very successful at it. But this year, man, already 20 times they've gone for it on fourth down, showing that aggressiveness, and they're at an 80% clip.
I like the aggressiveness. I like it quite a bit. This game definitely could be a field goal game. So I think I could see Andy being a little bit more conservative this week and taking a 42 or a 45-yard field goal. And then, God forbid, Harrison does have to hit a 50-yarder to win it at the end. I have faith he'll get it done.
I have faith he can do it, too. He's done it before. He wouldn't have 3 rings, or James wouldn't have these rings on his fingers if he didn't hit them. I have faith in that, Rest of the leg, you utilize that. But I love the going for it, though. I'm not going to lie. I love seeing Mahomes out there with the ball in his hand on fourth down with the chance to make a first down. I absolutely, positively love that.
Yeah, to me, it's a sign of evolution from our coaching staff. Right, they're not getting stuck in the old ways of doing things.
It's kind of what NFL teams are doing. They're doing a lot more.
Yeah, exactly. And our staff is being able to evolve with the game. And I love that. That's a good sign that we're going to be a good team, not just this year, but for several years to come, because our coaching staff is incredible.
But you look at the NFL and what teams are doing, especially on fourth down, and I mentioned how the Chiefs have gone forward on 20 different occasions on fourth down and what the actual most attempts are in the NFL. The most attempts of going for it on fourth down in the National Football League is the Panthers that have gone for it 22 times. Indy's gone for it 21 times. The Giants have gone 21 times. And there's the Chiefs 20 times. The difference is the only teams ahead of them have played 10 games. The Chiefs 9 because they had the bye week.
That's incredibly
it's only
aggressive.
Panthers 2 times more than the Chiefs, but they had an extra game than the Chiefs. So I certainly think that'll be different odds this week. But Chiefs sitting third in the NFL as far as going for attempts on fourth down and having a bye week when the only teams ahead of you have played 10.
Yeah, and I'm right there with you. I absolutely love it when Andy gets aggressive, when he allows his superstar to go out there and put the game in his hand with 1 yard to go or a short yardage. And they go out there and get it. And they've been very successful this year on fourth down.
Yeah, text line 317 reminded me Chiefs defense insanely good again fourth down, too. Yeah, I've made that a point of emphasis on the show. 23.5% is the Chiefs' percentage when teams go for it against Chiefs defense. Number 1 in the NFL. Number 1 in the NFL. 7th most times teams have gone for in the whole league against the Chiefs. That's with the bye week. They were third. Things changed, obviously, with the bye week. But teams are still going for it on the Chiefs. They think that's the way to beat them. And you know what the Chiefs are doing? They're putting Mahomes back on the field. You know what that means? It means more points for the Chiefs. And it's not just saying this. It's proof because it's 2.83 points per drive, which is second in the NFL. So that's a good mixture. If the Chiefs' fourth down defense is 23.5%, and yet your offense is averaging 2.83 points because the offense goes right back on the field in great field position whenever teams don't get that fourth down set. 913-586-7965 is the phone number. This team for the Chiefs, you want to make a comparison with this defense and the Broncos? It's eerily similar except for one thing. Explain that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Within the cities we call home, Busey Bank is more than a name. It's a commitment to your dreams. With Busey, trusted guidance is tailored to empower you every step of the way. Whether it's seamlessly managing your finances or planning for your future, Busey is dedicated to your financial success. Busey Bank, building business, growing wealth since 1868. Member FDIC.
More than a few of our patients have talked to me about their first time, but it's not the first time you're probably thinking about. It's the first time that erectile dysfunction ruined the moment. This is Jeff for Heartland Men's Health, and if you're over 50, it's likely that you've had that first time yourself. But the good news is that if you're like most men, that first time can be the last time that ED impacts your sex life. At Heartland Men's Health, we're experts in treating ED. We've treated tens of thousands of men using protocols with success rates well over 90%. And those treatments have, in most cases, made sex great again for both them and their partners. You could even find that you're performing like you haven't in years. So if ED has been affecting your intimacy, it's time to make the last time that happens the last time that happens. For just $99, you'll receive blood work, a medical consult, and if medically advised, a test dose. And if that test dose doesn't work in the office, your visit is free. Call 844-447-6600. That's 844-447-6600. Or go to heartlandmenshealth.com.
Makita knows that pros never settle, and neither do we. With Makita, you get tools that perform at the highest level on every job without compromise. Makita is for the most detailed pros, expertly engineered to deliver precision, job after job. When your work calls for the best, call on Makita. Makita, built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
And welcome back to After Hours. Jay Binkley, James Howe. So the defense of the Broncos, we understand it's really good. And the only thing bad about, it's good for the short term having a great defense, but you better strike when the window's open, right? The windows in the NFL close really quickly. It's like the Buffalo Bills. People are talking about their window. And is it closing? Well, it's not going to completely close ever because Josh Allen's there. But, getting beat 30-13 by the Miami Dolphins, and they cashed their chips in a couple years ago. They actually got the Chiefs in a game in Buffalo in the playoffs, and then they lost. Everybody thought that, hey, Chiefs, get them on the road in the postseason because the Chiefs have all these home games in the postseason. What's Mahomes going to do on the road? Then he goes and he wins. And then Baltimore was excited, and Kansas City goes to Baltimore and beats them. So they proved they could win playoff games on the road and at home. And as I've always said, Mahomes' yards, touchdowns, quarterback rating, completion percentage, all better on the road than it is at home. And obviously this is a road game, but everything is better statistically. He's thrown for almost 1,000 more yards on the road than at home in just about one more game. I mean, it's insane how good Mahomes has been on the road as in just being at home. Now, these defenses, total defense for the Chiefs is 6th. Passing defense for the Chiefs, 7th. Run defense, 12th. Scoring defense, which is the most important one, 4th. Denver total defense, 3rd. Pass defense, 6th. Run defense, 4th. Scoring defense, 3rd. They've had a very good defense, but where they make their mark is that pass rush. I mean, they're on pace for an NFL record in pressures. Zach Allen has 28 quarterback hits. That's incredible. He's got 6 sacks, but 28 times he's hit the quarterback. Benito, 9.5 sacks. Benito's been incredible with the pressure as well. They're on an historic pace for sacks in the NFL. They've been absolutely incredible. And Zach Allen, like I mentioned, with his quarterback hits, that's the most through 10 games ever in the NFL. He's hit the quarterback more than any time ever in the NFL. So it's a big difference in what they're doing as far as getting to the quarterback and making life uncomfortable. But, yeah, I think it's kind of good to play this game on the road first. Would you rather play the game at Arrowhead or play this one? I'd rather get this one out of the way. Get this one out of the way, get the win, then have the next game versus the Broncos at Arrowhead.
100%. Go out here, get the tougher one. I mean, it's just like anything else, right? Like, don't you want
Especially when you have a bye week. You can't make it a better with Andy Reid being 22-4 off the bye.
Exactly. Get the tougher matchup out of the way. Get the hard work done first. And then we have the Denver Broncos at home later on. And, I mean, I'd just rather get the tougher matchup done first, Bink.
You're right. And I brought it up from Elias Sports. It's the best winning percentage ever after a bye, ever in the history of the NFL with at least 10 games is Andy Reid. And as far as the bye, and yeah, there is that stat, 22-4 after the bye. But as I said, he's 3-4 after a bye when both teams have had a bye. So that's not as good, obviously, being 3-4 instead of 22-4. If both teams have a bye, Denver, it's debatable whether you want to call it or not. It's not really a true bye because they played on Thursday night. So it's a mini bye. Let's put it this way, James. It's a mini bye that they have. But as far as Mahomes on the road, you've heard me talk about his numbers on the road, haven't you, James? Just how good he's been on the road than at home.
Yeah, it's absolutely insane how incredible he is on the road when there's that extra pressure put on him.
That's the one thing about it. Like, you look at the X's and O's, you think about the Broncos defense and how good it is and what they do. I did mention Bo Nix. He is struggling, but he's extremely effective in the fourth quarter. He's had four fourth quarter game-winning drives. He's got a touchdown in 18 straight games. Yeah, we could look at his numbers and what he's doing. Clearly didn't put up much points against the Raiders. Divisional game, Thursday night game. First of all, divisional games always can be weird, but Thursday night games or playing in Europe, games get weird as well. But the bottom line is they find a way to win them. And that's the scariest thing when you look at your teams or you find a way to lose. The Raiders find a way to lose. And I think that Chiefs pressure starts building in. I think when teams think, oh, you have a chance to knock off the Chiefs, then they would fold. And I think that was a big part of the reason why the Chiefs were so good in one-score games. Teams would get down to the end. Chiefs would sit there, wait for them to make a mistake, then they would, then they'd pounce on it, and they'd capitalize on it and win. And that bode well. Just like the Raiders fumbling a snap there at the end with the chance to win. Pressure got to them. I think X's and O's wise, you can make a comparison and say, well, this Denver team, they did beat the Eagles on the road. This is a good team. X's and O's, being a home game, can they beat the Chiefs? Probably so, but the Chiefs had the other factor. Not the X's and O's, but the off-the-field stuff. Back against the wall. A true champion starts getting upset when their back's against the wall. Clearly, the Chiefs' back's against the wall at this point. And I mentioned Mahomes on the road, by the way. It's now pretty even because this will be he's got 61 games on the road and 60 at home for that bye week. So he's got 60 at home, 61 on the road. In that one game difference, right? His yardage-wise from on the home and road, he's thrown for 16,796 at home. On the road, he's thrown for 17,905. So much higher on the road than at home.
Yeah, which I will repeat it again, is absolutely incredible. I would absolutely expect worse numbers on the road, and I would be impressed with just even.
But good teams find a way to do well on the road.
And that's true. And great and elite players perform no matter where they're at.
It's over 1,000 yards. So it's over 1,000 yards in just one game difference. In one game difference on the road. Touchdown passes, 124 at home, 14 more on the road in just one more game. Completion percentage, 65% at home, 67% on the road. So what can you say? He's got 1,326 yards rushing on the road, 1,202 rushing yards at home. Quarterback rating, 99.5 at home, 104.1 on the road. Which Mahomes do you want, the home one or the road one? Because clearly, obviously the fans and all that make a difference. Chiefs are able to just kind of put the game away there at home. I'm just saying road Mahomes is actually pretty damn salty.
Yeah, and I know that, the offense and the defense, they kind of feed off of each other, but the fans at home, I really think give the defense a little bit more energy than what they do on offense. So no, to answer your question, I would absolutely want Mahomes' road version. He just performs better when the pressure's on.
His record 48-12 at home, 46-15 on the road. It's a pretty even split on that.
Yeah. Yeah, it's kind of surprising.
We need to take a timeout, James, because come back the weekend slate with football this weekend and what to look forward to. We do that next.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Whether you're digging a pond, clearing brush, grading land, or doing demo, Foley Equipment, your local Caterpillar dealer, is your one-stop shop. Buy or rent, Foley has the machines to get it done. Lease the Cat 300.9 mini excavator for just $3.99 a month and take advantage of other limited-time demo and purchase incentives. Terms and conditions apply. Visit your Foley Equipment location or go to FoleyEQ.com. That's FoleyEQ.com.
Completely agree. You are worth more, and your car's worth more, and we want to pay more at GiveMeTheVin.com for good cars because they are worth more, and so are you. And remember, if I don't beat the price on a CarMax or a Carvana deal, I'll pay you $100 for top price, trust, and ease of transaction. GiveMeTheVin.com, America's best car buyer.
Sell us your car. GiveMeTheVin.com. So easy you can do it in your underwear.
Attention. Have you racked up $10,000 or more in credit card debt? Are you barely getting by making minimum payments? With credit card debt reaching all-time highs, National Debt Relief is notifying consumers about significant debt relief options currently being made available to help those with overwhelming credit card debt. These options may reduce a large portion of credit card debt for those who qualify. You don't need to declare bankruptcy or take out a consolidation loan, and you may only have to pay back a fraction of what you owe, even if you have bad credit. National Debt Relief has already reduced the credit card debt for more than 550,000 consumers, so don't wait. If you owe $10,000, $20,000, or even $100,000 in credit card debt, you can now take advantage of this financial debt relief as the cost of living continues to skyrocket. To check what debt reduction you may qualify for, call 800-894-7722. That's 800-894-7722. Again, 800-894-7722.
Hello, Crushers. It's your host, DJ Divine, telling you that Candy Crush music season is here. Tasty. Conquer levels to mix your own track and win sweet rewards. Divine. Now let's swipe to the next track. Take it away, Thundercat. Upside down, you're turning it. You're giving love instinctively. Candy Crush music season. Play now. From November 3rd to December 7th, selected players level 36+. Terms apply. See in-game. Optional in-game purchases.
Nobody had to tell your grandparents not to drive while using their typewriters. Why should it be any different for us kids and our cell phones? Distracted driving was the cause of more than 3,000 deaths in 2022. Come on, we're smarter than this. Let's put down the phones and focus on the roads. Drive safe, everybody.
Don't drive distracted. A message brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Project Yellow Light, and the Ad Council.
You're listening to 96.5 The Fan from the DM Injury Law Studios. Mike's got this.
Welcome back. Hope you're having a great Friday night. Hope you're getting settled in for a fun weekend. Got Thanksgiving coming up in just a couple weeks. It means, James, you do your Christmas shopping. So do I, by the way. Someone on the text line asked me about Andy Reid. Does it count in the postseason? Well, regular season and postseason, Reid has a 30-6 record when his team has an extra week to prepare. So it's 30-6 after that. But record when his team has a bye and the opponent does not, 28-3. Which, again, this is a mini bye. It's like mini Ditka, man. It's mini bye. Full-size bye or mini bye? Mini bye. Mini bye at this point. So college football tomorrow, James. You told me you're interested in the 2:30 game, OU and Bama. 11 o'clock, we get Notre Dame and Pittsburgh. Again, I said there's 4 ranked games where both teams are ranked. Notre Dame, Pittsburgh get you going. At 11, it's also Kansas State. Kansas State and Oklahoma State. Kansas State travels to Oklahoma State at 11 o'clock. That game, I think, is going to be on ESPNU. We'll carry that game right here on 96.5 The Fan as well. 2:30 is OU and Bama. Is there a reason why this one? Are you
Well, I mean, I'm an Oklahoma fan.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a bunch of
Boomer
family
for
down
you.
in Norman.
It's a boomer for you.
Yeah.
OU Bama 2:30, 6:30. We have Texas and Georgia. That's gonna be fun. Another ranked game there. That's at 6 o'clock. Missouri, Mississippi State, pesky Mississippi State. Wasn't so pesky last week, but Missouri gets them at 6:45. SEC Network on that one. We'll carry the game as well over on KMBZ for the radio if you're out and about. But yeah, we'll see how Missouri rebounds because they were right there with Bama. Obviously, that was Prbula. It's 3-point difference in that one. And again, Missouri did have a chance to win that at the end. It was a close game. Alabama, keep in mind, very good team. Ty Simpson's an awesome quarterback. They can't run, though. They're 14th out of 16 teams running the football in the SEC, very un-Alabama-like, but they are right now 4th in the college football playoffs. Missouri loses that game. That frustrates me because Missouri got the lead. And then they were about to force Alabama to punt. It was going to be a 3rd and 15. Great defensive play. And boom, taunting hits Missouri. You gave Alabama a free out. They go down and score. It's typically what happens. Last week, true freshman quarterback Matt Zollers, 7-22. A&M was just too much for Missouri in that game. That game was a blowout. The Vanderbilt game, Missouri lost, very close game. They actually limited Diego Pavia, who's up to 5th, I think, in Heisman odds at this point, 120 yards passing. And they lived in, 20 yards rushing in that game as well. So those are some of the good college games this weekend. Kansas, another bye week this week for the Kansas Jayhawks, if you're wondering about when they're going to play. Now, the NFL schedule, James, as far as the Kansas City, unless you sit there and watch Red Zone, which I do, when you can watch anything you want to, and it's got the best time and teams for when you want to watch games, but I don't know what service you have. Obviously, if you have the ticket to watch them all the NFL games, that's perfect. But if you don't and you want to rely on which games are being shown locally on TV, I always like to look at this, see which games they're going to show. Obviously, we know 325 is the Chiefs and the Broncos. But at noon, there was actually a couple of good games at noon, if I could find it, where that was. But the noon kickoff was going to be Buffalo was in that one, and Tampa Bay. So Tampa Bay and the Bills, that's a pretty game. That's a noon game at CBS. Then the other one on Fox is Bears and Vikings at that time. Not so great there. But Tampa will be interesting. All those injuries, they're hitting Mayfield. Remember when Mayfield was looked upon as the MVP? And then the Detroit Lions quickly stopped that in primetime, remember? And Tampa Bay was whining and crying about the calls, which is funny because Detroit was just doing that ad nauseum for well over a week after they were destroyed by the Chiefs. They complained about it. And the interesting thing about it, their defense looked good. They had 5 defensive backs out in that game, and they only had 4 against Kansas City when they played. And they talked about the injuries as an excuse. Well, Brian Branch was suspended for that Bucks game, but they still beat the MVP, top 2 MVP guy, Baker Mayfield, in that game with 5 defensive backs that were out of the game.
Right, so it could have been done. They could have had a good defensive performance, but they were just outplayed by the Chiefs.
You're out Terrion Arnold, their starting corner, DJ Reed, their starting corner, Kirby Joseph, their safety, then Brian Branch, their other safety, was suspended. Their nickel corner was out in that game. I mean, it's rough. But anyway, there's a good slate. The Lions-Eagles game on Sunday night, that'll be fun. And the Cowboys-Raiders on Monday. Again, I have no idea why this game is on so late by Monday Night Football. I know that they have to take their turn and you can't flex certain games, but Cowboys-Raiders deserves to be an earlier season game when the records aren't so far out of whack.
Yeah, this is a terrible game.
But people watch
interest.
it. I'll watch it. I mean, that game last night sucked. It was New England and the Jets. Woo, big deal. But, I still watched every second.
Yeah, the only thing that keeps me locked in on games like that is placing bets. Placing bets on the game and following along and seeing if they hit. And that's what makes it
that's
so
an
much
interest
fun.
to keep watching them. That's why they do. Like, whether they want to admit it or not, gambling has helped ratings. And it did. That's why the NBA jumped in on so early, because it helped those other games that people aren't watching.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
it kept
because
because
there's money on the line
gamblers
now.
stay interested till the end because of in-game betting or point spreads or over-unders. So that's what helps ratings. In turn, that does help ratings.
Mm-hmm.
And this does help the NFL ratings. Who remember backed away from it so far in the beginning. Remember Tony Romo was doing like a fantasy football camp in the NFL through a fit and he wasn't able to do it? That's how far they've come to accept, gambling with their sport, because people are going to do it anyway. But they, finally, kind of grabbed onto it with different teams, and boom, they go and put an NFL team in Las Vegas, something you never thought they'd do, and there it is. From the 816, YouTube TV dispute over with ESPN. Yes, James gave us a hallelujah on that one. We played hallelujah literally 5 minutes after Schefter put it out. We were talking, yes, there you go. And the one thing about YouTube, James, I guess they gave a $20 discount for people for their bill or something.
Very generous.
Well, it was, not really. It would be if they took it off the price of the bill, but that wasn't the case. What they did is offer you $20, but you had to go online and do it yourself and sign up for it and go through these type of things. They're just hoping people don't want to screw with it. They're like, I don't care, because that's what rebates are. Like, these rebates,
jump through all the
you buy
hoops.
$100, we'll give you, $30 rebate on your product. They're just hoping you don't want to go through it. Don't want to go through and do it, because it might take 5-6 months to get your money you're banking on. You don't do it. It's the same thing with gift cards. That's why restaurants and places like them so much, because people sometimes forget they have them. And then they expire to some point, or they get like just maybe $10 shy or something like that, and they just get rid of their cards or whatever. And so, but they got paid on $100 on that, but you only use 90 of it. So they make money on that. So that's what YouTube's doing, hoping you won't fill it out. I hope people go and fill it out.
Yeah, no, 100%. Go get your money. Like, if you were affected by it, go get your money. Don't let YouTube get away with that nonsense.
I didn't realize DirecTV did this last year. I wasn't privy to, I guess they did, but 785 says DirecTV. I know that the Spectrum one 2 years ago, it was like a 10-day hiatus day. I think YouTube went like, 14 days with that one. But they gave you discounts if you called them or whatever. They give you discounts on your cable package or whatever you had. From the 660, hey, Bink, Buffalo played nearly a perfect game against the Chiefs. I agree. I've talked about that. Chiefs played like crap. Absolute crap, right? Buffalo played a great game. Like, you can look at, they're happy. They played offense, defense, special teams, all good with Buffalo. They feel really, really good about how they played. But yet, 22 seconds left in the game, Josh Allen was still not breathing easily because Mahomes had the football. The Chiefs had a chance to go down the field and tie it up. And you know what? This Bills team has seen that before. They've seen them go down the field in 13 seconds. So they've seen it happen. But that shows you how close the Chiefs are. They can go out and actually play like crap, and the Bills play great. And they're having a parade now for the Hallmark movie last night, and everything's great in Buffalo, and then they were destroyed by Miami, but whatever, that's Buffalo.
Sure.
But I will say this, too, and I brought this up earlier. So Buffalo probably not going to win that division because they're so concentrating on the Chiefs. So right now the wild cards in the NFL and the AFC are the Chargers, the Bills, and the Jags. Those are your three wild card teams. And remember, for the last couple of weeks, you're worried about the Jags because the Jags have the tiebreaker of the Chiefs. So just get them out of the way. Just get them out of the way. Take their L's. And then they find a way just to kind of sneak and win games at times. That was so nice about the Houston game that they didn't. But here's the one common denominator. They all three have head-to-head victories over the Chiefs. So we can celebrate the Bills' downfall or whatever you want to do. But it's better if the Bills go ahead and win that division so they're not a wild card team. Because then that head-to-head doesn't come into the equation anymore because the Bills would be division winners. But the Chargers, the Bills, the Jags, the wild card teams all have wins over the Chiefs. Now, if it's a three-way tie, you go division record, what you do in the AFC. But if it's two teams, the first tiebreaker is head-to-head, which the Chiefs do not have the tiebreaker over any of those three teams. And they'll get another shot at the Chargers. Clearly, that's the one. The Bills, you won't. The Jags, you won't. You already lost those teams. At least the Chargers, you get a chance of redemption to pay them back. So that's the question. Now we get into this type of year's fun. Like, do you go for a certain team or not? Do you want to see them win the division or be wild cards? Because Baltimore, this is going on through their mind. Think about how the Ravens are thinking. Yeah, they're coming back. Everybody's healthy. They're winning games. They have a great chance to win their division, AFC North. Very good chance. They still got to play the Steelers twice. So they need to win the division. I mean, it's division or bust with them because two of the possible wild card teams, if the Chiefs don't win the division, are Kansas City and Buffalo. Both teams the Ravens have lost to. They lost week 1 to the Buffalo Bills by 1 point. They lost the head-to-head against the Kansas City Chiefs. They're the ones that need to make sure they're winning the division because they'll be shut out kind of the wild card in the direction that goes. But regardless, James, I had fun tonight, my friend. I always have fun on a football Friday night. We had some high school football scores we're giving out.
It was
Look at the scores. We had some college football on right now. Talking about the Chiefs, Broncos, the big game this weekend. And, of course, another one of those weird games, Jacksonville or the Chargers. Which one are you going for? You want to just go ahead and knock the Chargers out of the way? Or, the Jaguars out of the way? Or do you want to get the Chargers confidence that still have to come to Arrowhead Stadium? Thanks, everybody, for listening tonight. Much, much appreciated. Thanks to Dusty Likens, the Dust Man, calling in as Russell. Early on in the show, it threw us for a loop, but it was funny. It's good stuff hearing from Dusty. Thanks for listening. Thanks, everybody. We'll be back. Don't forget the Kansas State game on 96.5 tomorrow. Matt Moring, Fantasy Football, 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. Good night, everybody.
You're listening to After Hours, brought to you by Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views on your home for Kansas City sports. 96.5, The Fan.
Is your garage door too loud and whining for help? Overhead Door Company of Kansas City will make it all better. They will perform their full 26-task garage door tune-up for just $79. That's just $79 for up to 3 garage doors and openers. You need this done once a year, so why not now? And for just $79. Call Overhead Door Company of Kansas City at 816-221-0072 or schedule online at overheaddoorkc.com.
Does this sound like you? Every step or reach is a reminder of what hurts, a reminder of what you can't do. But I've got good news for you. Relief is closer than you think, and it doesn't have to come from a scalpel. What if it could come from you? At QC Kinetics, we tap into your body's own regenerative power using natural healing factors that help restore and repair damaged tissue, reduce inflammation, and relieve the pain at its source. No surgery, no pain pills, no long recovery. Just your body remembering how to feel alive again. And this Veterans Day, QC Kinetics is giving back to our heroes. Veterans will get $500 off their treatment, and for every non-veteran who starts care, QC Kinetics will donate $500 to the Wounded Warrior Project. So now's the perfect time to book your free consultation with Saturday appointments to fit your schedule. Call QC Kinetics today, 816-412-6299. That's 816-412-6299. Off 435 in State Line and in Gladstone, QC Kinetics.
Hi, I'm John Ray, your friend and jeweler at Shane Company. When you buy an engagement ring or fine jewelry gift from Shane Company, you get more than what you paid for. Our jewelry comes with our all-inclusive free lifetime warranty. It covers everything. There's no fine print. You'll get unlimited cleanings, resizings, and repairs. Plus, it even protects your engagement ring's center stone. We stand behind the quality of our jewelry, and that's our gift to you this holiday. Peace of mind. Because a friend knows the best things in life are free. Shane Company, your friend and jeweler.
Hey, Zach, are you smiling at my gorgeous canyon view?
No, Donald. I'm smiling because I've got something I want to tell the whole world.
Well, do it. Shout it out.
T-Mobile's got home internet.
Whoa, I love that echo. T-Mobile's got home internet.
How much is it?
Look at that, Zach. We got the neighbors' attention.
Just $35 a month. And you love a great deal, Denise.
Plus, they've got a 5-year price guarantee. That's 5 whole trips around the sun.
I'm switching. Me too.
Yes, T-Mobile home internet for the neighborhood.
Donald, you still haven't returned my weed whacker.
Carl, don't you embarrass me like this, please.
What's everyone yelling about?
T-Mobile's got home internet.
And Donald's got my weed whacker.
Yes, T-Mobile's got home internet. Just $35 a month with